I really should have known this would happen. Salvage is a sleepy town, yes, as I've always said, but crucially, part of being a place where nothing happens is that when something of note does come about, it comes about. And judging by the festival that sprung up this afternoon, my boat being renamed is something of note. The significance of boat renaming ceremonies has existed for generations, as long as sailors have sailed these eastern shores at the mercy of the Devourer, the god of the deep. Who knows who the very first crew might have been to prompt such fanfare? I don't mind being connected to that history. Besides, it gives us a good excuse to throw a party. I observed salvage-ish tradition in the ceremony. I removed all evidence of the old name, then called upon the Devourer to pay attention. Luca poured him a drink, champagne into the sea, and N read him a poem. I selected one from Tarek Elam's anthology after weeks of ignoring it, and I think it was suitable enough. N has all the necessary panache that I lack for performance, and even if Tarek were less a poet, N would have stole it all the same. And after that, Varys struck the old name from the ship's clock, and I cast it off the boat. And thus, the last proof of the scrap bucket now lays at the bottom of the sea, to be eroded over time by the Devourer himself. And the vessel will now go by a new name, Ephemeral Chaos. Get it? Ignorable until the moment it is, because there's a water elemental in it, and you wouldn't know until it whizzes away from you. Bruno says it's strange, but, well, he doesn't know that I got the name from a prophecy, told to us by Aggie the Hag, one of Taraz's eyes. I suppose that context only makes it more strange. Nevertheless, I thought it was a good name. Within the context of the prophecy we received, Ephemeral Chaos represents everything unwritten by fate. All else is Ephemeral Chaos. Yes, we are guided by these threads of destiny, but as I said to Damon, we are not beholden to it. Like the weather when you're out at sea, it is smart to let it inform your route, but you ultimately choose how to sail it. Speaking of, the next point in the ceremony was to seek the wind's blessing. I requested Bruno, Varys, Sika Elsa, and Brina Madani for the task, so that they could perhaps appeal to the winds of all four cardinal directions, not cordial directions. Can you imagine if I attempted to ask the wind's blessings? Irreverent little shifter, if you wanted our blessings, you wouldn't be making ships that disrespect my direction. That green leaf's on thin ice. And yeah, no, that task fell to our most noble and upstanding companions, those that have had an impact on us, without whom we would not be setting sail at all. That's what this is all about, anyway. A chance to say thank you and prepare for what comes next. Only days away now. And you should see the tome that N gave me. An enduring spellbook, archival quality that can't be damaged by fire or immersion in water. And they made a travel log out of it. Little records of our adventure thus far. It's honestly unbearably thoughtful, so I put it in the ship to look at later when I won't embarrass myself over it. After all, we have guests. Among them, the locals, Bruna, Sika Elsa, Eka, Tor, Eleanor, the teens, new baby, and the neighbors, Brina and her receptionist, Miss Celia, Malachi, and Roz, I guess. Sika Turg arrived by carts with a poorly concealed coffin housing Luca's vampire mentor and Signoreus, who would only emerge at sundown, but I think enjoyed himself all the same. Oh, Jaylee, the artist. I didn't know when I told N to invite her that Jaylee was afflicted. N likely did, though, and yet invited her anyway. Every time I looked at them, N was doing something to worsen the affliction. Not on purpose, but doesn't that just make it worse? I'm glad to see N so comfortable. Time will tell how that goes. They're cute, either way. Oh, and last but not least, the Greenleaves, which would usually just mean Varys and his niece's family, but surprising us both, we were also joined by his good friend Roger. Now, I didn't invite this Roger. I don't even know Roger, but he has a powerful build for a fisherman, not to mention the shit-eating glint in his eye. Why, he looks very suspiciously like High Prince Ryger Irwanan. Sovereigns, I can't even believe this isn't some fever dream from drinking seawater or something. High Prince Ryger is at my party. High Prince Ryger is at my party. How did he find me? Not Varys, not Myrildine, not Coulton Bloody Brightwind himself, but Luca. Luca Carnson invited High Prince Ryger to my party. And he came! He is presently in attendance, so he wants something, clearly, because why else would the most powerful man on the Eastern Coast come to my party? In any case, it's fine. It's fine. By the time he boarded my boat, I'd already come to terms with his presence. And I was ready for him, and we spoke. Comfortably, even. He noticed that my boat was made of stolen sawwood. He mentioned my former crew, specifically his visit to, the Storm Chaser, liaising with the Prince and my apprentice. And he wants to exchange favors and have a conversation. Captain to captain. Honestly, it was kind of nice to hear someone say that my reputation precedes me, even if that doubles as a threat. Varys was sweating bullets the entire time, but I'm sure he's accustomed to the hazards of being friends with the bastard. Can't tell which one of us I'm referring to there, but more on that later. Back to my party. The final voyage of the evening was given to Bruno Saltbeard, of course, an honorary final lap of the bay. And he was so proud of my fine craftsmanship and so touched by my gestures of gratitude, why, it almost made him sick. Thankfully, he avoided succumbing to his overwhelming emotion sickness, and we sailed back to dock. He said I did good. I know I did good, but it's nice to hear. He also gave me a hug, but that's besides the point. There is much to say to Bruno Saltbeard in particular, and perhaps we will have an opportunity soon. For now, against all odds, the party continues, and eventually it will draw to an end and we will have to part ways and have those tricky conversations, but that is for later. After all, what was it that Tarek said? An evening spent and nothing more? The horizon calls me home.
Sweet. So, the camera pans over the festivities. We see good old Roger and Varys playing some of the carnival games. He's trying his hand at the 3 strikes and the ring toss.
Is he?
Yes. And we know how he does.
How is he doing?
Especially on the 3 strikes. I want to know that meant strength.
Can we all perceive him? You guys are probably over there.
But like sliding in the background.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Let me do that real quick.
Okay. +7, okay.
That's to attack. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh.
This is why we're not fighting him.
Okay, wait, we're kind of on the same skill level in terms of strength, he and I. So I might be able to take him into like a... What do you call it?
In a fight, right?
In an arm wrestle.
Quickly do some math.
Did he not just split it
38.
in one hit?
No, because there's a full DC. He's 1 strike away from sinking it completely.
Well, there we go.
Oh my gosh!
It's a nat 20 for those listening.
Yeah. On a nat 20, that does plenty. So,
of course, nat 20 is a carnival game!
So, Roger manages to sink the nail in 3 strikes, not beating Luca's record of 2. But he does sink the nail so deep on the final hit that, like, it is fully embedded in the log. It is not proud. It is, in fact, flush with the surface of the wood. As for the ring toss,
Oh, sweetie.
not that good.
I did better than him at the ring toss. I'll take that home.
Nice,
Look,
nice.
He's good at what he does, but he doesn't do everything.
Yeah, that's why
Wow.
you have, like, rat catchers and other such delineations.
And green leaves.
That's my random vibe check to Roger.
Sure.
How does he take losing? Like a champ.
Oh, yeah. He's just laughing.
Oh my god.
Max Bear is hard on the back.
Yeah, exactly. Just having a jolly old time. Another game that gets set up a little more impromptu is like a bunch of sailors arm wrestling. Like a bunch of the dock
my.
workers doing the little like competition over a barrel as like they're drinking and stuff. One of them comments, "You know, you look a bit like the High Prince." And Roger, of course, laughs and says, "Oh, I get that a lot. It's mostly the beard. Wish I had the money to spend like the High Prince, though, right?" And the crowd
my
laughs
God.
along with him, none the wiser.
Good high Prince
I-
charm.
Can I arm wrestle him?
Yeah?
Yes.
Wait, before I'm going to. Okay, so I dawdled over from my conversation with Bruno. Is Bruno with me?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. I think so. I rolled an insight check to see Ryger's vibes. I don't know if that led anywhere.
He's having a good
But-
time. Just blends right into the group. If you didn't know who he was and why he was here, you would not suspect.
That's crazy. While I'm here, might as well. When he's busy doing something else, I would like to cast Detect Magic.
Sure.
Hmm.
Would you like to make a sleight of hand check?
Sleight of hand or stealth?
This would be sleight of hand if you're casting it in public, but otherwise stealth if you are moving out of the way to cast it and then coming back to look.
Could I have cast it on the way over?
Sure,
Bruno just
make a
watching me do spells. Does he say anything?
That would be a sleight of hand check then to conceal it from Bruno.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool beans. Detect magic. Yeah, Ryger has some magical stuff on his person. Some things tucked under a shirt. Largely abjuration magic.
What does that entail again?
Protection.
Okay, so like armor.
You don't know what it is exactly, because it doesn't look like he's wearing any armor at the moment, but it's like magic that protects from ill will, let's say.
Huh. Interesting.
You don't know
Curious
the
what
nature
that
of it
entails.
on account of like not being able to see what he's wearing.
Hmm.
Unless you want to make a very good perception check right now.
I will try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not sure. It's not armor, but it's like he is wearing like at least one or two pieces of magical equipment. Defensive magical equipment. You just can't see it because he's concealed it quite well, which makes sense.
Does Luca look like he's like? Oh wait, we're at probably the stage where he's going to the arm wrestle now. Where's En?
Yes.
I imagine we kind of reconvened a bit around Ryger. Maybe split up in the crowd, but aware of each
Yeah.
other. So En's probably nearby. Watching the High Prince. Watching Luca about to make an approach towards the High Prince. Again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Willow's gonna kind of like sidestep over to En. Like we're going to meet in the middle, just like watching, observing the High Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Willow might make elbow in, and then make a little like head tap gesture and a shrug. Like, do you want to
And
give it a go?
bounces their brows and peers over to the hybrids. Back to Willow. Gives a shrug. Don't see why not. I mean, I see plenty of reasons
Willow
why not, but you know, I'm willing to risk it. Essentially.
Willow makes a vague gesture at the chest, and then another gesture at the head, and then another gesture like they're stroking their chin. I don't think at this stage N knows what they're saying, but you can do an insight check, I guess.
N's just gonna message you like, what do you mean?
Oh, he's wearing abjuration magic, but I don't know necessarily if it defends from the likes of you. I think it'd be good to know. I don't think I got all of those words in, huh?
Not exactly. Would probably need another minute to translate your and wiggles their hands around in ways that don't really resemble what Willow was doing.
Willow nods like they get it anyway. Their mind's racing away.
Actually, message is different from sending. Sending has a word limit. Message has a time limit.
Oh,
and Willow
that's what you meant
speaks
by
fast.
a minute. Okay, so hopefully N definitely got all that.
Yeah. Yep. And got it. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah, might as well know. Yeah. And will probably excuse themselves for a minute. Cast.
Do you want me to stand with Jaylee while you're gone?
You don't know. You have to find her first.
I thought she was with you. She's been stuck to you all night.
I imagine she's in like the crowd and has.
Yeah, I think she's probably chatting with Brina at the moment.
Yeah, if she's not with me, I've left her with Brina or Elsa. Like that's or both.
Either or both actually probably at this point.
Yeah, they're getting along. It's fine. I can take a moment. Just go to a quiet corner and run the coin.
Cool. By the way, Willow, what's your passive perception?
15.
Okay. Bruno is chatting to some of the dock workers who seem to be getting something ready. But, N, please make a sleight of hand check.
It'll be sleight of hand or a stealth.
Stealth, actually. You went out of the way.
There, it's gonna be the same. 18!
Cool. I would also like you to make a spellcasting ability check, which is just a charisma check for you.
Okay. So I just click the big charisma button?
Yes.
Cool.
Cool. So, you try and pick up on Ryger's thoughts, but they come through kind of muffled. It's not like it's not like an invalid target thing.
Yeah, it's
so
different.
much as it's like just sliding a little bit off.
Yeah, because if it was the same as Edmund Beckett, I'd be evacuating the party. But no, this is distinctly different.
This is he has some kind of defense that makes it so his thoughts are muffled to mind readers.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaky bitch.
Yeah. That makes sense. Ben's not terribly surprised by that. That's all I can really get from tapping in like this, though. Or?
Yeah. If you want to try and like listen for the full duration, I will allow you to make an insight check to pick up a vibe.
Oh, might as well. I'm here anyway. Shot. Oh, hey!
Oh,
19.
hello.
You can tell that, like, as much as he is having fun and participating in all the games, as you watch him, there's, like, clearly a lot going on under the surface. You catch, snatches here and there of, like, sort of keywords that then get, like, sort of drowned in the general noise of, like, what he's actually doing at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would say his thoughts are on Willow and Varys.
Ooh.
And the upcoming conversation.
Yeah, and
when they are not on what's going on right now.
Yeah, and can I pick up like the kind of vibe around Willow and Varys? Is it just like overclocking, thinking a lot about them? Is that kind of?
It's not overclocking. It seems very measured.
Mm-hmm. I guess in this particular instance, I just mean like lots of thoughts.
Yes, I would say I would say calculating. Sort of running through options.
Right. All right. Yeah, well, and we'll probably report all of that back to Willow once they've listened for the duration that they're able to.
Yeah. Luca, do you want to do a quick contested athletics check with
Yes.
Ryger?
Oh my god, what do you guys say to each other first? Like, what? Sorry for that sound.
When we're like touching hands,
When you're squaring up to arm
Yeah.
wrestle.
I'll say, I think I realized you probably invited your friends. Big eyes at him. Just make sure they get something to eat as well. Smiles.
I'm sure everybody's had plenty to eat and drink around here.
Luca nods, like, satisfied. Offers his hand. Let's
Cool.
go, baby.
Let's go.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh!
You 1 point in favor of Luca. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Roll again.
Mm-hmm. Sippies. Sipple. Oh! Oh!
Back to neutral. Ryger is winning.
Okay.
Luca is winning again. There's like quite a bit of
Wow.
back and forth as
Yeah.
you go.
Okay.
Like
Again?
I think what you can sense is that like Luca may have more in brute strength, but Ryger has like the skill of experience on his side.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh,
so
so
close.
Back to neutral. This is a real tense arm wrestle. You seem quite evenly matched.
Yeah.
I can imagine and Willow and Varys on the sidelines, like doing the lean along with each.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Whoa.
cheering and shouting. Most people have bet on Luca to win.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I think, but with that final push, Roger manages to slam Luca's hand down. And there's like shouts of disappointment and excitement, and Roger says, "Well done, well done."
Give him a handshake.
Claps you on the yeah.
Should have used the other one. Wiggles my hand.
Porcelain hand.
Yeah.
Seems like a jolly good time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Varys. Has he taken it?
Varys' vibe.
Entertained, but also like a little bit like, huh. Amused but slightly distracted. That being said, you hear the sound of Bruno heralding an announcement with his very loud voice.
Hmm.
And he walks up to you, Willow, and says, "So, did you think I'd forget?
Oh no.
I've got a gift for you."
It kind of looks around at everyone like, right now? They don't say that to Bruno, but it's clear on their face.
Yeah.
And Willow gestures, wasn't the boat the gift?
He waves his hand. Look. He gestures you over and to a cart, and dry dock workers pull off a tarp and reveal a bunch of supplies.
Oh.
Aww.
Figured since you're setting off soon, and what better time than at the new naming of the ship to give you all these supplies. they are all just like mostly mundane supplies, rope, carpenter's tools, like and a little like cold box for storing some fresh food on the journey. It's not very big, but like enough that you could hold maybe 1-2 weeks of fresh fruit and
2
vegetables.
That's
2
so many
weeks.
weeks.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, like 3 days
like
worth of
half
fresh
of our
veggies.
journey.
Okay. I'm maybe not calculating how much Sarah eats fruit and vegetables.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that's substantial.
That's substantial. Willow, what's the... Are the dock workers around? Are they all
Yeah.
like...
Yeah, everybody's around. This is out in public.
Yeah, it is. Willow doesn't like this because then when they get that like lump in their throat again, they're like, "Oh my god, not in front of company!"
Not in front of the high prince.
God no, hell no.
You can't know that
But
I
I
feel.
will. I will say, I do imagine like Willow was kind of thinking, especially after N said that Ryger is calculating. Willow's like, "Okay, I'm also calculating," but this kind of wiped the slate clean a bit.
Mhm.
Now they're just like, "Oh my god." Salvage showed up for me. Of course they did. They always show up for me, like in their mind.
Yeah.
I think Willow will just have to. I imagine a little bit of like a side arm pat with Bruno,
Mm-hmm.
and then they don't even know where to begin with the dock workers, so they just kind of give that like gratitude hands. Look, if someone wants to start like a hug or something, they just don't know where to start. Like,
Yeah.
if one of the more like affectionate dock workers wants to be
Yeah.
like approaching for the hug, by all
Yeah,
means.
I think one of the dock workers is like, "Go on, have an inspection." Slaps you on the shoulder and like lets you look over it at all the stuff.
Yeah, we're just gonna start digging through. Yeah, mostly just to keep their head down.
How's the
Is there anything-
tail looking?
Oh, it's God, how embarrassing! It's wagging. It's wagging, and this new outfit has like the belt doesn't go over their tail as much, so I feel like you can see it through their coat, especially when they
Yeah.
bend to like
Swish,
dig
swish,
around
swish,
in the
swish,
cart.
swish.
I think once they feel it displacing their coat, they're gonna stand up, like straight.
I think there's a little chuckle that goes
Yeah,
around
I
and it's like, "Well, do you like it?"
Evidently. Willow go start handshakes.
Yeah. There's there's a good round of congratulations and like
Mm.
I think a couple of happy birthdays.
Oh, they know.
Yeah. That's
I've
what-
lived here for like 4 years. 5 years? 4 years. I can't remember, but yeah. Willow does their rounds.
quite some time.
Yeah. There is that kind of quick side, I wouldn't say it's a hug to Bruno, but like a side jostle
Squeeze.
with Bruno.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. He returns it.
Yeah. It's a very like quick pat squeeze, continue on. They'll probably
Yeah.
call you two over to
Mhm.
come have a look at everything that's there.
Yeah,
Because it's for us, technically, though it is for me.
it's for you, but it's going on our ship.
Yeah. Thanks, team.
Yeah. You have some extra supplies for the newly named Ephemeral Chaos.
They're so touched. Oh.
Yeah. Anne's checking out the icebox, like, I'm gonna need to buy more snacks.
100 gold worth on the boat.
Enough.
I think after, like, so that they don't stand in the mush for too long, Willow's going to, like, more showy, be like, "No, can't pull the wool over your eyes, Mr. Saltbeard," and then sort of, like, rally up the music again, preferably.
Yeah.
Like, so that we're
Yeah.
not just floating around in this, like,
Yeah.
you know.
I think we montage as like the festivities continue. There's like
Mm.
a people dancing as the music plays. Everybody's like eating and having drinks and so on. It's just a very convivial atmosphere as the night wears on.
I think that's kind of knocked the idea of just like spending the next 2 hours scoping out Ryger. Like, it's like, no, actually, this is my party. It's my birthday party.
Yeah.
You know what?
He can wait.
He can wait. He will wait. He'll wait until we're good and ready. And we'll take the stuff aboard my ship and drive him home, you know? This will happen on my time.
Mm-hmm.
He's just Roger. So keeping Roger over there, I do think, like, the music started up again, yeah?
Yeah.
Anyone dancing?
Oh, for sure.
Who's dancing? With whom?
I think most of the like salvage residents are like dancing or doing like a like clap stomp to the beat of the music. Eka and Toa are definitely dancing. I think several families are dancing.
Question, is Varys still looking...
He's calmed down a bit now.
Good.
It was mostly like when the spotlight, quote unquote, was on Roger that he was a little bit like...
But now that it's off him, he's alright.
Yeah. He's relaxed.
Okay. Not singing relaxed, but just standing relaxed.
I would say he's clapping along.
Okay. Oh, you know what I mean. Singing, drawing attention singing. Bring my Bonnie type singing. Lighthouse Keeper falls in love with you type singing.
No.
Yeah, no, he's chill. If there's kind of like group dancing going on, I do imagine like, if anyone, either of you two wallflowering?
Absolutely not.
Luca's definitely already there with Seagirl, so.
Yeah. And probably is right now. I imagine they tossed a coin to the musicians playing.
Yeah.
But with Jaylee.
I
Big eyes.
Depends on Jaylee's vibe. Really.
What's Jaylee's vibe?
I think she's like clapping on the sidelines.
Hey, you know what I should do as a good friend? Because I'm such a good friend.
I'm gonna
a
kill
really
you.
Good person. I think Willow's going to whiz past you two, and with the same momentum as like rallying people up to dance, Willow's going to grab both of you by the hand, and then put both of your hands in each other's hands and put you on the dance floor.
How does Jaylee react to that? Because I feel like Ed like freezes up for a moment. Like, oh god, Jaylee's gonna explode.
Jaylee also freezes up for a moment, and I think like, I think Willow, what you have done is create a daisy chain because I don't think Jaylee or En are going to let go of your hands as you drag them onto the dot floor.
Yeah,
you are in a circle now. You are trapped here with them.
Can I do some kind of like sleight of hand check to dislodge my hands from both of your hands?
You can
and put your hands in each other's hands. I wanted to sandwich thy hands.
Yeah, you have sandwiched their hands, but they are also holding onto your hands.
But the hands that I'm holding, they can't grab me again if I whiz away. It's like, I don't know, sleight of hand.
Roll for it, buddy.
Which one? Because it's the ability to clap your hands together and then leave. Holy
yeah, Jaylee's
iron
clinging
grip.
onto you. You have all three joined hands in the middle. You are a pinwheel now. So you better start dancing because you're clogging up the dance floor.
And Willow tries to pull, finds themselves yanked back and is like, what in the world?
And gives Willow a look like, oh, you wanted to dance. And then they're going to start to like pull Willow, but like lead Jaylee.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like, super gentle with Jaylee, pulling Willow.
You've been dragged into a three-person group dance.
Oh my gosh.
But it is fun.
Yeah.
As long as you let it last.
Willow gives that pitying look to Jaylee, like, she's clinging to me like, don't let go! Like,
this is why I didn't drag her onto the dance floor, because I knew this would happen. But since you insisted...
Look, it's fine. I think at one stage, Willow's going to try and like stop and spin Jaylee just so she doesn't seem so tense.
Make a
Oh my god, please don't. I don't want to hurt her. But yeah.
Make a performance check using dexterity. If you're not proficient in the performance skill, which I don't think you are, it's just a dexterity check.
Are any of us?
I wonder.
Looks
at N. Anyway, dexterity.
Oh my
Yes.
god. Yeah,
Just
right?
Just flat dex?
just dex.
Oh.
Hey!
All right.
Well, you're
You're
a
off to
good
N.
dancer. So, Jaylee does like kind of a giddy laugh as you twirl her and sort of join in the group dance. I imagine it's like one of those very folky village dances where it's like a lot of arm over arm and twirling.
Mhm.
Like the steps aren't complicated, but there's a lot of people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
I
nice.
just want to duck out from between N and Jaylee to at least just go next to N.
Can you twirl and get away
Yes.
with Dex?
Yeah, can I have 12
Yeah,
and gotten
you-
in the way
you-
so that
you-
I've shoved N in the middle now?
Yes, and is now in the middle.
Yes, I think, and gives you a little eye roll, but then immediately engages with Jaylee now that she's somewhat loosened up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we'll
my
continue
gosh,
the
sorry.
dance now that we're here.
Yeah.
I'm gesturing for Varys as well. So, like, everyone, Brina, Celia, if they're still here. I think they're still here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they'll join in on a dance.
Good. I was trying
I
to
think
get
it's just-
Varys on board, but
Oh yeah,
Better join.
Varys is dancing with like either his niece or like his great niece and nephew. His niece's kids.
good.
Yeah. It's a very good time. Like we don't focus, the camera sort of pans over as like everybody dances and has fun. I think Jaylee only sticks around for one dance before retreating to the sidelines again for a drink, like a water or something.
Yeah, that's fine, and we'll go with her.
Yeah.
Cutie.
Yeah.
And I heard Luca saying he wanted to dance briefly with Willow. He can join the line. Sorry, that sounds so rude.
No, I
Join
wanted
the
to-
club.
I wanted to squeeze you in between me and Secret Elsa. Give you big huggies.
Oh, God. Whatever. Multiple scenes of, like, I imagine at one point in the evening I'm going to get the
Swoodled,
Seeker sandwich is the only thing I could think of. But yeah.
swoodled.
Swiddled. Oh, Torg and them are still here. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I would like to say, hey to my Seeker man. I'm so awkward today.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Nereus is staying very far on the outskirts of the party.
Why? Bring him
Well,
in.
he's a deeply unsettling presence.
No! Luca, go get him.
I'm not going to do anything to make him uncomfortable. Like,
It's more like Nereus kind of is a bummer at parties
like Kai.
just by existing.
Yeah, that's why Kai isn't invited.
But he can at least keep him, make sure that he's okay.
He's fine.
You see a self-imposed bummer on the sidelines, you just make sure they got water and stuff,
Well,
It's really not the same kind of bummer that you think it is.
I know.
Can
It's
vampires
more like
drink?
people get near him and then for some reason feel the like weight of mortality on their shoulders
Oh, damn.
and then keep moving.
Yeah, that's
I
okay.
don't
He's
have
happy
that
though? He's okay?
He's fine.
Can
Because people
vampires
watching.
drink water?
He's fine.
He's eating a small animal.
Capri Sun rat, if I remember correctly.
He dined before he arrived.
What a polite way to say it.
Look, it's not bring your own blood.
Biob.
That's what it is, BYOB. Bring your
Yes.
own booze and or blood.
Mhm, mhm.
Anyway,
I'm gonna scootle over to him.
Nereus gives you a nod of acknowledgement.
Offer my hand, like, do you want to dance with me?
No, thank you.
Luca nods and, like, posts up next to him. How is the ship? I know you're a sailor. Does it pass your keen eyes inspection?
It is a fine vessel. You have very worthy companions, Luca. And I am grateful to have had the opportunity to be out on the open seas again.
I'm glad to hear that.
I find it somewhat difficult to be around so many people. But nonetheless, I am honored to be invited.
You don't need to stay much longer if it's uncomfortable.
How are you faring?
Luca nods slightly. Actually, that's something I wanted to speak with you about. We will be leaving in a couple of days, actually, and I like to think that Seeker also might miss me, but probably best if she doesn't get, like, too overwhelmed by it, so I was hoping maybe you could check on her from time to time.
Seeker Elsa is always welcome at the temple in Regalport.
And if it's not too much of a burden, I was hoping that I could maybe send you some post while I'm away.
How novel. Yes, I would enjoy corresponding with you in the future.
Okay. Did you...
On that subject, I have some advice before you depart.
Luca nods.
Regardless of what truth you discover about your past on your journey ahead, I advise you to hold to your oath. In both times of joy and times of trouble. Whether you were a prince or a pauper in your past life, you are now a seeker of the divinity within, and it is your duty to your oath and to the blood of your covenant, your companions, your fellow seekers.
Luca kind of looks out at everyone, nods slowly. I will do right by everyone here. I think Seeker
Do
Nereus
right by yourself, too.
Well, I'm here. I think he can see that Luca's hands are a bit tight on his glass if he has one.
Nereus puts a hand on your shoulder and squeezes. His hand is cool, same temperature as the air. No warmth of life within him, but his grip is firm and comforting nonetheless. I think let's cut over to and Anjali after you have managed to retreat from the dance floor.
Escape the dance floor. Like Willow.
Jaylee is like giggling a little bit and fanning herself warm from the dancing.
Yeah, and it's kind of laughing too a bit as we we escort ourselves off and ask for a drink.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I'm having a really good time.
Oh, glad to hear it.
I knew you led an interesting life, but I had no idea you had so much going on. I just have a question.
Yeah?
Will you be able to get letters on the ship? I don't really know how the post works with stuff like that.
Zeke, feel free to remind me exactly how that works.
So, you can address post to people on a ship, and typically it will be forwarded to its last or next port of call, next place it docks.
Yeah.
It just might take a little extra time to get there.
Yeah. So, I'll explain that. But I plan to have a open mailbox wherever I go, so it might be a bit delayed. Don't be worried if you don't hear from me for like a month. It's gonna be a pretty long journey from here to where we're planning to go.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm glad at least I'll be able to send you letters.
Oh yeah, I'm expecting it. I'll look forward to it when I get back to land.
Yeah. So, just a little bit of light chatter.
Yeah.
I think a little bit as like Jaylee is taking a moment to sit down, Brina approaches you and says, "Hey, how are you doing?"
Oh, hi, stranger. I'm doing all right. How about yourself? Making friends?
Oh, here and there. My compliments on the shindig.
You can compliment Salvage for that one. They came up with it all on their own when they smelled some sort of celebration, ceremony, what have you. Small town things.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, it's making for a pretty great send-off.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you think our chances are? The ship over there. Think we're gonna make it all the way to Karnath, or you think we're gonna sink halfway through? What's the Madani take?
I think, considering the three of you, you're pretty resourceful. I'm sure you'll figure it out, no matter what happens. Looking forward to hearing what adventures you'll get up onto on your travels, by the way.
Oh, you wanna become pen pals too?
Why not?
Oh, I would certainly be sending any, potential Madanis your way, so might as well keep an open channel of communication.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, you keep me posted as well.
If you're ever back in this direction, don't be a stranger.
I don't think I could be if I tried. You'd find me.
Wow. She reaches out and sort of claps you on the shoulder and gives you a handshake.
Yeah, and returns a firm handshake with a smile. Thanks again, Brina. I mean it.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Yeah, I think En's gonna go in for another hug.
Yeah. She does a little,
yeah.
and hugs you back, like pat on the shoulder, like as you embrace.
Yeah, it's a little shorter than Audrey, so like En's a bit on their tiptoes with their arms up over Brina's shoulders.
Aw, cute. Brina gives you a good squeeze. You look after yourself, okay, Miss Audrey?
Will do. You too, Detective.
And I'll try and make sure I get that, appointment to get those glasses.
Yeah. I feel like Willow will be bugging you as a footnote to my letters. If you don't send a little copy of your prescription processes to us, it's proof.
I'm sure Celia will make sure I don't forget.
Good secretary.
Very good secretary. Don't know what I'd do without her. Make a right mess of things, probably. Anyway.
Oh, she sounds like she'd be happy to stick around for as long as you'll keep her.
Don't I know it. Well.
Do you?
And smiling against their glass a bit as they peer away and drink.
Evening wears on. People are starting to peel away. Any last conversations before the festivities come to a close?
I think mainly, and we'll like see Jaylee out, make sure Jaylee's gonna get home safe.
It helps load the coffin.
The coffin didn't get
I know.
taken off.
Solo pallbearer carrying you back. Man.
Anyway, Brina and Celia accompany Jaylee back onto the ferry. The green leaves are making their way home, except for Varys. Varys says he'll stick around a little longer. Torg is loitering among the townsfolk as Nereus sticks to the shadows, observing passively. Bruno makes sure to shake Willow's hand one last time before heading back as the party dissipates, saying, "You should see me when you can about that tattoo."
I think Willow's a bit tired from all the spinning and the dancing. I do imagine, like, I got a quick scene of, like, imagining Willow and Varys doing, like, the arm over shoulder thing.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
like,
for sure.
either singing along with the pub song or, like, just whatever's happening. But they had a brief moment of overexertion. I think Willow's got their hands on their hips and Bruno talks to them and they're like, "Does it have to be in the morning?"
When you can.
Okay. I know where to find you.
Mm-hmm.
And, thank you for everything.
It was a pleasure. Eventually, it is just Varys, Ryger, and the trio.
Yeah, before Jaylee left and gave her the fishing lure. And basically with a comment of like, hey, either you can keep this yourself or maybe it might make a good incorporation into your art. I don't know. Yours now.
She says thank you.
Yeah, and we'll thank Brina for looking out for her on the way back and wave them off.
Yeah.
And then, we'll come and join the rest.
Yeah. Seeker Elsa has headed home for the night as well.
Oh, I would have shaken her hand too. Everyone, I didn't really get to speak to her, but she is obviously... her presence is appreciated.
Yeah.
Willow does their rounds, they're hosting rounds, pretty much.
Yeah.
To say thank you to everyone one last time.
We'll be speaking to Secret Elsa on a different day.
Yeah. It's all dwindling down to just us 5. And I will say, because I didn't really specify last round, I don't think Willow told Varys the favor that Ryger put forward. Like, I teach Varys in exchange for keeping secrets. I don't think I mentioned that to Varys yet. Just as an aside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just knows that you have a conversation upcoming.
We have a conversation upcoming.
Yeah,
apparently.
true. I would like everybody to make a quick perception check.
19.
Not great for me.
As far as you can tell, Ryger is alone.
Like, no special friends lurking in the shadows?
As far as you can tell, you cannot see any. We have not seen any around him, so.
Where are we right now?
I'm at soup!
Because I'm like, my detect thoughts can detect technically any thinking creature within a certain amount of space. So, I wanted to. But do I want to?
Might not be the best use of the spell slot.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how the night goes on. Anyway, it's just in the back
Willow
of my
can
mind.
tell us when they figure out how much the boat dips into the water based on like how many people are aboard the ship.
Either way, don't trust that. Points directly at Ryger, don't trust that. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, make your way aboard the Ephemeral Chaos.
Yeah, it's Ryger, like, joining up with us as we walk the gangplank onto the ship.
Sure is.
How's Willow looking?
Hmm.
I'll do
I think they're
insight for the
fine.
Flavor.
Oh yeah, well, Jesus. Yeah, you see that. I think after saying bye to Bruno and saying bye to everyone, it's kind of just like, okay, down to business, but nothing over the top. I think a lot of their thinking energy has gone into partying. So this is just a conversation that's going to happen now. In fact, I think the first person Willow's going to probably... Does Ryger separate from Varys at all?
I don't think it's hard to separate them, but they are in the same vicinity.
Actually, probably before. No, I think now because it's sort of settling in. Willow might, just while we're here, Willow might direct the others around the boats. Like when we get up on the gangplank, like someone to Luca to pick up the actual plank, and then like asking Ryger to go and Ryger and N maybe to go back and deal with the sails and the anchor. I would have an anchor to the dock, yeah.
Yes.
Or what's lashed us to the dock.
Yeah.
And then with that moment, quickly with Varys to sort of set him up at the wheel again, probably. Make sure everything's settled. Oh, actually, they can fasten the some of the cargo that I imagine has been pulled on board.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, by the newcomers. Willow would put Ryger to work. If he's going to be here, Roger, then you can carry some stuff aboard if you want.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like,
it's easy enough.
Yeah, while doing that, they'll just ask Varys, doing okay?
I'm fine. You?
I'm fine. You?
It's your ship. He's the one aboard it.
It's your captain. Say he doesn't really gestures, like little tips their head to the bottom of the boat. He doesn't know, huh?
I don't think so, but it's only a matter of time.
Right, won't be long now. Oh well, can't keep me. Evidently, Willow goes back to just sort of clearing off the inside of their boat.
Cool.
Yeah, I talk to Ryger since we've been separated
Sure.
into a little corner together to work.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yep.
Luca as well, but I imagined it kind of like the...
Yeah, you're making
passing off
ready.
to the-
Willow has announced that you're going to set course for Regalport.
Yeah. So I think En's just gonna be like working near Roger. Be like, so do you remember me?
believe we met under the name Audrey.
And clicks their fingers and makes a little finger gun at Ryger. That's the one. I figured my company might give me away. And the gestures at Eye Patch. So, how much have you heard about the whole investigation into the new Corvair incident?
Oh, it went well enough, thanks to the Inquisitive's guilds and some hirelings that they brought on.
Oh, yeah? Any idea who those might have been?
I'm catching your drift.
I'm just wondering how close your finger was to the pulse of that whole incident.
Close enough. I unfortunately do have bigger things to worry about than just a murder or two.
Oh, I'm sure. Considering the accusations that were slung, I do hope your relationship with Baron Elar didn't suffer too much.
Oh, it'll take more than a little squall like that to shake the old knife ear.
You guys must go way back.
We've been friends for a while. Have a very good working relationship, let's say.
From before you were High Prince?
He sort of taps the side of his nose and winks. That could mean anything.
Yeah. Can I insight check it at all? Or am
You can certainly try.
Give it a good old college try. It comes out in the wash. Yeah, no idea what that means.
Yeah, he is being deliberately ambiguous.
Yeah, it's just wondering, since I overheard someone who was likely involved with that whole debacle speaking to him about their shared past.
What, I should try and get you an autograph? Maybe an interview?
It's just after all the effort I put into making sure Regalport stays safe from people like Warfred, just ensuring we're all on the same page.
Regalport thanks you kindly. I believe you received a fair share of compensation for your efforts.
And smirks a bit. What's his vibe?
Bantery, I guess?
Mm-hmm. What was he saying about an interview, like with Elar? Is that what he's talking about?
Yes, that is what he was...
He's joking about?
He was like, hey, yeah, that is what he was joking about.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have objected if the High Prince could get me an audience with the Baron. That'd certainly be interesting.
Maybe not the Baron, but can certainly get you in with one of his shadows.
So where's one of yours?
A little more involved in the family business, let's say.
Right.
Always looking for informants. You seem to have a keen eye.
So I've been told.
Suppose that comes with only one of them.
I'm sure you're familiar with keen-eyed people with one eye. I think you have one of those, if not more, among your sea dragons.
Come on, let's get these sales sorted. Before the captain tans our hides.
Oh, yeah. Real strict, that one. You gotta watch out.
So.
Said Hide Tanning Captain is likely just making tea at this stage.
Yeah.
Cleared up downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Has left the elemental room, not open, but uncovered. The folly poster can say on the wall, that's kind of funny. All of my gadgets can lay around. They're cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The rest is fine.
Ephemeral Chaos.
Yep. Unknowable until the moment it is, right? Right, Willow says to themselves as they go back up to the top end of the boat and start making tea. You know what? I'm going to say that can some of the dock workers have given us like cupcakes or muffins or something? Because
for sure there's leftovers.
Yeah.
There's like for sure leftovers that you've managed to put aboard the ship.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
this was a huge party. There are leftovers.
Specifically muffins. I can't remember, but Lucas said something ages ago. Like, do I take muffins to the meeting with the High Prince?
Yeah.
Was it muffins? And I just love the idea of Willow stopping and seeing muffins on the table for this meeting with the High Prince and being like, "Ha,
No. He was right.
Destiny or something."
Yes. You are able to give the High Prince muffins and tea for your private conversation on your ship.
Yep. You guys can all come in after sails are ready. Or I can go out to make sure that, when we set off. But I don't want Ryger in my boat without me there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he can,
don't worry.
He can duck through the door and come in.
We cut to the moment of the interview where Varys, Anne, and Luca are minding the ship as Willow and High Prince Ryger are sat below decks with tea
not
and...
yet.
Oh?
I think... Sorry, if you don't mind. I do
Yeah,
think that
go
Willow
ahead.
would first start talking to him when he's on the top deck.
Okay. Sure.
With you guys around.
Well,
you guys are free to be floating around.
Sat in the cabin of the Ephemeral Chaos with tea and muffins on the table.
Yeah. I wonder if that's on top of the chessboard. Nah, I would have moved the chessboard. Maybe, unless it's more fun to have it on the table for thematic purposes. Kind of is, huh?
Yeah.
We'll keep it on the
To
table.
the side
we can
of-
eat muffins around it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good table. I do imagine you guys to be around, though.
Yes. Certainly within earshot.
Yeah. You guys are not excluded from this part of the conversation. Where Willow will welcome Ryger, tell him to take a seat.
He will.
Willow, out of politeness, will sit across from him because they can't talk to him while they're just walking around. That's rude.
What would your mother say?
Don't know.
Anyway.
Let me see. I think the first thing Willow's going to sit and say, so, what was this about wresting away control of a technology, something or other?
I'm sure you've heard from our good mutual friend, Varys Greenleaf, about what his mission was before he fell afoul of a curse.
Pretty bold.
Fortune favors it, or so I'm told.
Is Varys aboard?
Yes, he is.
I'm going to glance over at him when Ryger mentions that. How does Varys respond? I imagine he's driving.
Yes, he is steering the ship. I imagine you see an ear, like, sort of tilt towards you. He's like slightly turns his head so he can hear you a little bit better.
No, but that's an alliance, isn't it? That's not about wresting power away. It's a good amount of time you would be contributing to.
Well, the scheme with Varys was always going to result in a falling out with Lyrander. Eventually.
But that scheme is no more, so what now?
Lyrander has a monopoly on elemental vessels. I don't think that's particularly in the spirit of Lazar. So,
Are you going to make your own?
quite right.
That's no mean feat.
Perhaps our friend has let it slip already, or perhaps you're just very good at guessing, but I am channeling a good amount of money into researching and developing a new kind of elemental vessel. Ones that don't require dragon marks to control them. And, in general, just trying to reverse engineer many of Lyrander's secrets.
Hence the whispers. That makes so much sense.
You'd see it that way. Speaking of, I'm quite curious about your history.
Aren't we all? Willow gets deja vu. That's exactly, I think, what Varys said to them on their boat. And exactly what Willow responded with from memory. I must ask, what gave me away?
Oh, well. I have a pretty good memory for things. But was more your attitude and your work that gave you away. Warforged disguise of yours was clever, and honestly, if you hadn't been so close to our mutual friend, and if your Deneath marked soldier hadn't invited me, I probably would have been none the wiser to your existence. At least for a time being.
Is Luca around? His ears just burn wherever he is on the boat.
He doesn't even realize, like...
Who's listening? I should ask.
En is definitely here. I think En is like situated.
Yeah.
Sitting somewhere nearby.
Yeah.
Or
Mhm.
standing.
I can imagine you near Varys. Like maybe leaning against the corner where Varys is driving.
Yeah, but definitely listening. I don't think they're making it a secret that they're like looking at
Mhm.
this scene.
Mhm.
Arms folded.
That, and I vaguely remember a wanted poster with the same ears.
And smirks and looks away.
Yeah, Willow's ear flicks. That's probably the first time in the convo where they're like, their big old smile, cheesy look kind of dips a bit just for like a huff. Yeah.
Not a whole lot of shifter tinkerers out here. At least not
That
a
might
whole
change.
lot of them with such a reputation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. thinking back to what he just said. Can he see through? Okay, I don't know. I don't even want to invite this, but Willow was being deliberately like, "Oh, making your own elemental vessel. That's crazy." Before, like, I don't know whether there's any passive check he'd do on that, or like perfectly rolled. Or is it all good?
I'll roll for him.
Don't want to invite it, but Willow was being so like obvious that I'm like, ugh.
He certainly has the sense that you have opinions on the topic.
Yeah. Cool.
You'll find out more.
So Willow's going to backtrack. Well, what you were saying before, I'm not that good at guessing. I am curious as to your plans going forward, what you've involved the Whisperers in, and evidently all of Regalport.
Oh. For now, things are in the early stages. Research and development.
Of the non-dragon marked piloted elemental vessels.
Elemental vessels first, and then we'll work on what comes next. After all, that is one of the many reasons why Varys is a good man to have at hand.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of foundlings willing to join in on the cause. Especially from the Whisperers.
What do you get out of it?
Aside from better ships?
Aside from the obvious.
Well, us Lazari are the finest sailors in all the world, aren't we?
I've heard this one before. I suppose I mean you specifically.
Well, I have an interest in developing the economy and technological prowess of this nation I'm trying to found. Besides, I believe more in skill than in talent.
Of course. And you are... Willow sort of checks the side of his head. He's still got human ears, yeah?
Yeah, he's human.
This is a long task. You... Not to be dire, but I'm not entirely sure that one mortal man will be here to witness the entire thing. Unless there's something you'd like me to tell you. You to tell me, rather.
No. That's the beauty of legacy, isn't it? Creating something grander than yourself. If I can set the gears in motion, nobody can stop the tide. You're pretty sure Ryger has a grand vision for the future of the Lazar principalities. And building up their technological capabilities, their industries, is a high priority for him at this point.
I think, look, what he just said is not taken lightly by Willow. I think, even though they are sort of bantering with him, there's a little, like... They're not immune to what he says. But I think Willow will settle back from that. You think your you think your rivals won't have something to say about that?
Oh, they most certainly will. I'm banking on it, in fact.
Oh?
Oh, I've already heard about Lyrander starting to be in talks with the dire sharks and getting bolder in their pushes into our seas. Well, that works just fine for me. Especially if I can get spied aboard their vessels. And it gives more opportunity for the Wind Whisperers to capture elemental vessels from Lyrander. We are all pirates, after all.
Sorry, but it gives a little smirk at that. Like, yeah, that's funny. Colburken's gonna hate you. Or do you have another angle around that?
Oh no, he already does.
Okay.
But Colburken is in for personal glory, so no matter what he does, I doubt he'll be able to stop what I'm planning.
Small fish. No, perhaps more pertinent to ask is, how do you plan to handle the backlash from House Lyrander itself?
He shrugs. I'm quite confident.
In
the capabilities of my fleet and my allies. That won't be easy, but when has anything worth doing ever been easy? Am I right?
Fair to say, but how do you plan to support those allies, specifically? Orthos finds itself in the middle of any retaliation, especially with the potential of the Fallen dire shark thing happening. I'm not sure if you're privy to that part.
I've heard mutterings. But as for whispers, I'm aware that they have a pretty good working relationship with House Thirani in the last few years, as brokered by myself during the Thronehold talks. And certainly were the Bloodsails to go to war with my allies, well, I would have no choice but to answer. And very few people want to openly go to war with the Sea Dragons, as I'm sure you're aware. They seem to have a keen mind for the political goings-on of the fleets.
What kind of role would I have to do for Willow, like, checking all of this is enough?
I think this would be just an intelligence check. You certainly do know that what Ryger is saying probably all checks out. And it is more likely that as long as the industrial espionage aspect of it is kept relatively quiet. It should not come to blows so quickly, and by the time it does get to that point, it might be already too late for Lyrander to do more than just like pour more of their resources into being better. It will be an arms race of industry rather than of like armies.
At which point, it's odd to sort of talk about the backlash from Lyrander and the fact that like he's kind of relying on his allies in a sense, and that those allies are my former crew, in a sense again. But then he's also given them Thurani. Like honestly, if everything goes according to plan, fleet power from sea dragons, the distance, and the finesse of the Wind Whisperers, plus the protection of House Thurani, makes a pretty good alliance on the eastern coast. Plus, he's got talks happening in Kubara. So there's like, he's kind of got it sorted with the exception of Kolbakon, who he kind of treats as, again, small fish, and then Falnen, which, I mean, we thwarted them. And if we keep, the more that we learn with Luca, the more we can feed back if that's the case, if we're on this side of things. But then what happens if Willow's just thinking of all of that? He seems reasonable, is a takeaway. Yes. I can imagine Willow giving.
You get the sense that he has been planning this for quite some time.
Yeah.
And this is part of a very long plan that is coming to fruition. And it certainly seems like Ryger hasn't put all of his eggs in one basket.
No. And he's not throwing... I think the main thing Willow's checking, he's not throwing anyone under the bus, so to speak, in pursuit of this plan. Because this plan requires everyone to be in the bus.
Yes.
Even if it's just pragmatic. I will do an... no, I don't think it matters to Willow what he feels about it as long as he does it. As long as he means it.
He seems very sincere and very well thought out.
Yeah. I think that's the main thing. He's given off a good impression that, like, anything I could think of, he's thought of. Like, he hasn't responded to any of the, like, and what about backlash and what about the future? He's safe to say that... Is it safe to say that he has given me enough to consider collaboration?
Oh, yes.
That's no mean feat as well.
He certainly isn't approaching this recklessly, and he isn't approaching it in a selfish way either, which is, I think, the more curious thing of, like, Ryger's goal is not to elevate himself, necessarily. He's already top dog. What he wants is to build up the principalities and give the other fleets a reason to band together. And powerful ships and powerful allies are plenty of good reason to lure in most people.
And, sorry, pardon me, changelings have a similar life expectancy to humans?
Humans, yes.
This task will outlive the rivalry as well. So...
Absolutely.
It's not to, like... Willow even saw to the idea that, like, Dire Sharks eventually would want to join in on this. Rather than continuing to, you know, just... They're getting surrounded at all angles as well. And then there's the Ilmaru thing. Anyway, Willow's kind of deep in thought, but I do think that Ryger's done a decent enough job where the only conclusion Willow comes to is everything that is left up in the air is now the only way to avoid those things that make Willow feel uneasy is to not do it at all, and that's not an option. Fair to say?
Make them uneasy. How? What are you exactly referring to? Sorry.
Uneasy in the sense of, like, House Lyrander hitting back, or people being found out, stuff like that.
Yes.
The things that make them uneasy are like war, basically.
Yes. I think Ryger has taken those things well into calculation. At the same time, he's like, I'm not just going to let Lyrander have a monopoly on this technology.
Yeah, no. That's what I mean. The only way to, like, quell the concerns is to not do it at all, and that's not something that Willow's going to suggest, because taking Lyrander's hands off this monopoly, taking Lyrander out of the equation is a good thing. Big time. It's just kind of weird to hear it from a political leader. Honestly.
Yeah.
I think Willow's going to now kind of sit back, glance over at Varys and Anne. Don't know if Luca's here.
Where is Luca?
I mean, he's probably working if there's work to be done.
I feel like it's pretty smooth sailing at this point. Like, Varys just needs to steer, and the boat's set to, like, a decent pace.
Yes.
And
it's pretty minor at this point.
Maybe he's just writing.
You're being my scribe.
Such a fun party today.
Nope, not helping at all. And
Luca, I imagine, is like standing by in case anything needs doing, but likely is just keeping watch. Ryger will say,
Rome started like Ben.
Oh, and still in the same place. They've just got their head tilted kind of in your direction, so you know they're listening.
Cool.
Ryger says to you, Willow, as you sort of come out of thought, can see those gears turning pretty hard inside your head. What do you think?
I think you've measured the risks, which is a start. More than I can say for most. I come from Willow gestures over their shoulder. House Kenneth origins. Not necessarily the best indication of a sensible development of industry, let's say.
To be fair, they were war profiteers, and if your main source of income is conflict, well, no chance of that ending quietly.
Of course, which is why it's so important for me to check what your intentions are. And they don't seem to be war profiteering.
Certainly not.
It's actually not very profitable. For you anyway, in this instance. Well, at least it shouldn't be. I would give him another just look to check that they're on the same page. No war stuff?
No war stuff. He does seem amused by you. Conflict, inevitably, but war, no.
Yeah. The system that creates the war profiteering will not be a thing. Willow was curious. I guess they would have asked this before. Oh no, they might ask now. What do you expect the distribution to be like? Do you have to win in a sword fight to get a galleon? What's the deal?
Oh, we'll see when it comes to that, but there are many ways to gain a vessel in the principalities, as I'm sure you are well aware, being in possession of one such as fine as this yourself.
Mm-hmm. So I suppose, all said and done, you're the best person to pioneer this. That we have currently available, anyway.
I've certainly made myself the best-looking option.
Don't flatter yourself. Willow knows he didn't mean it that way, but... Ugh.
Pretty astute assessment of my political schemes such far.
Willow shrugs, and with, I think, one more kind of backwards glance at the friends, probably say now, suppose all that's left is making sure that our fine workers are kept safe all the while, yes?
One of the things. There's always more to be done.
What would you suggest?
With regards to...
More to be done.
Problems will inevitably arise. The trick is being adaptable.
Which, I think Willow's going to stand now, often boils down to having the right equipment.
Quite so.
If nobody else has anything to say, not like anyone was saying anything anyway, I might...
Varys does a little... Varys does a little cough.
Does he want to say anything, or is he just coughing?
It's more like he's like, awkward.
Willow gives another little glance at the room, like not like anyone's going to say anything. Does anyone want to say anything? Because they're going to take Ryger below deck for any other private conversation he would want to be having.
Yeah, and it's just listening.
Luca as well.
Then I think I should probably show Roger below deck.
Sounds good to me. You bring Ryger below decks. He takes in the room.
Oh my sweet heebie-jeebies. Good. I imagine Willow's walking through and then just like casually steps behind their workbench. There's probably a chair put there for Ryger on the flip side. And Willow will just sort of stand and introduce their workshop. Silently, with a gesture.
He nods. You know, I am curious how you ended up on my shores.
These shores? They're Bruno Saltbeard's shores. I do suppose we're probably halfway between by now.
The rumors presumed you guilty until proven innocent, and then, after a mourning and thronehold, presumed you dead. So, I am interested to find out how exactly you wound up here before Thronehold. And
Why
if any
is
of the
Thronehold?
rumors are true.
2 questions. First of all, why the focus on the Thronehold? And secondly, what rumors?
I knew a few years ago a very talented shifter was the main tinkerer aboard the Storm Chaser. the pride of the Wind Whisperer's fleet, before they suddenly vanished after a sudden bout of sabotage aboard a vessel. And Thronehold is when Brightwind became one of my allies officially, and we agreed to work together to undermine Lyrander in the long term. Best revenge is living well, isn't it?
Smart choice.
So,
Don't see what that has to do with me, though.
don't you?
Willow gives him a flat look. Mim will ask Zeke, do I?
He is implying that he knows of your history with the Wind Whisperers. If not the particulars, then definitely the broad strokes of it. And certainly the way you have been going about this implies certain things.
Is he, because earlier when we talked on the top deck, outside rather, he mentioned like having even more questions about why I wasn't, is it like why I wasn't there for Thronehold?
Mm-hmm. Or it's more like, how did you end up in Regalport before Thronehold, and what happened to you in the time between what happened to the Storm Chaser and now?
That's personal.
It sure is. And he's curious.
I don't want him to have that information. He talks to friggin' Coulton. Willow will probably just respond, because they did say already I floated in like driftwood, which isn't wrong and isn't a lie.
Mm-hmm.
They will probably say, your questions about where I've been. I ran afoul of the Devourer, of course.
And then floated in like driftwood.
That's what I said.
And you stayed.
Apparently.
Interesting.
What else was I meant to do?
He shrugs. So, are the rumors true?
About being the best and brightest aboard the fleet? Aboard the flagship of the fleet, rather. No, I suppose I wasn't just the talented tinkerer aboard the Storm Chaser. I am the Storm Chaser.
And you abandoned ship because... That's what I want to know. Especially if I'm going to be trusting a dear old friend in your hands.
I take it that Coulton hasn't told you.
Brightwind says a lot.
And very little.
I'd like to hear your side of the story.
And I'd like not to contradict his. You see, I think the same goes for me. I am looking after your old friend, and you are looking after mine.
I'd prefer to know if there was a good reason for you to stab Brightwood in the back on your way out.
I think if you read between the lines of our prior conversation, you'll find all the answers you need.
He raises an eyebrow at that. Yes, he has to make an insight check. Oh! I'll let him roll again, because that's out of character. That's better.
I must say, at least one for Mim. Mim has to acknowledge that Ryger, at least for a little moment, rolled in that one.
Took him a moment. He had to buffer.
Just a second.
I think Ryger does a little sigh. Does get tiring to talk in doublespeak.
Yeah. Willow, I think, sits now. They're probably standing, like, leaning over their bench a bit. Their mood changed when they referred to the Storm Chaser and then to Coulton, and now they're just gonna be, like, sit. They're gonna gesture at Ryger now. Ask bluntly. I won't give away anything that's gonna compromise the Whisperers, obviously. I want them to succeed. Sometimes.
Only sometimes,
I'm
Guess
sure
that
not
half
all of your
answers.
fleet. Pardon?
Guess that half answers the question I had about how you feel about your former captain.
Not all fleets make all the right choices all the time. There has to be countermeasures in place, yes? Contingencies, ways to keep everybody accountable. You for your own as well. Every crew. Every fleet. In general, suppose I am one such countermeasure.
You would make a very valuable bargaining chip. And I'm sure you're aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm banking on is that whatever is behind that door over there is more valuable than what Brightwind can give me. Because in many ways has already given me what I want. We have mutually aligned goals. He's more than happy to do anything that'll knock Lyrander down a peg or 2. Or 10.
Question from Mim. This won't make them redundant, though, will it? If Ryger finds out about me. Or
no.
what my offerings could be.
No.
Yeah. It's not like Coulton's given everything anyway, so after this, fuck off.
No.
Nah.
I don't think you have to fear anything of that redundancy, because what the Wind Whispers offer is more than just like secrets. Yeah, it's more than just one person.
No, it's the protection to the north. It's the stealing of Lyranda ships, experience, fleets. It's the geography,
Dragonmarked foundlings, etc., etc.
The actual vessels.
Yeah.
No, yeah, just double checking because that was something that he said where I was like, huh? But yeah, he's basically saying I need to prove that I'm at least a little bit useful.
Yes. Your secret has to be worth keeping.
You want to hear something funny?
Why not?
I think Willow like leans in with their elbows on the table. You know your distant plan for an elemental that could be piloted by someone that doesn't have a dragon mark?
He raises an eyebrow.
I think Willow's gonna call up Varys.
Aye. Comes over the speaker. Talking trumpet.
Boat's moving a little slow.
I'll see what we can do, Captain.
He's funny. I don't know why he calls me that. Anyway, Willow's going to wait. That is to end Varys as an aside. What happens upstairs?
I'll wait for Varys to go since he was the one who was directly requested. But if it doesn't work out for him,
You hear sort of a tinny noise through the door. Nothing really happens.
All right. I'll try to tap into the elemental then.
Okay.
Ask it to maybe speed
Make
up a bit.
Persuasion check, please.
Okay. How's that for you?
There you go.
Yes! I love my crew!
There's a dull hum as the elemental engine engages, and then a sudden lurch as the boat speeds forward.
And
Both of Ryger's eyebrows are now up.
And smirks a bit and returns to their position for eavesdropping. Snuggles back into it. Job well done.
You know what's real funny? I deliberately did that where I call Varys, so whatever movement comes next, Ryger attributes to him. We made Captain look good! Anyway, both eyebrows raised, you say?
Yes.
Willow's watching him. Eyes did not move from him.
Now I'm very curious as to what's behind that door.
You're a smart man, I'm sure you can piece it together.
They say seeing is believing.
They say loose ships, brother? Loose lips sink ships. But hey, I suppose Willow's gonna wheel around and like literally just kick the door open, I think.
Okay, yeah. You open up the door and reveal the glowing interior humming with magical energy as the water elemental courses through the matrix. You see, for the first time, Ryger looked genuinely surprised, and like a little bit of wonder in his eyes. Oh, you're fucking kidding me.
It was my honor to be the first elemental scrap bucket, now Ephemeral Chaos, docked at Regalport, before even you would know about it.
I'll be damned. He slams his hand on the workbench. It's decided then. Greenleaf! I got a new assignment for you. Halt the ship.
While he does that, Willow's going to close the door.
Suddenly we have to fight to keep your boat.
I'm about to steal my ship.
I mean, I feel
Willow
like
closes the door, the arcane lock clicks back into place. Willow looks pretty chuffed, honestly. What happens next, it's fine. But I'm going to insight check Ryger to see what his vibe is, in case it literally is. Anyway, we're killing the crew.
He looks excited.
Okay.
That doesn't answer the question. Anyway.
No, it doesn't.
He's excited to murder us.
Can Varys stop the ship?
But I will say that for story purposes, we cut forward to everybody surrounded the table on the top deck, and Ryger announces, I had thought of perhaps asking you to share some information with Greenleaf here, but I've had a much better idea considering what I've seen below decks. I'm sure your crew are all well aware of what you have here. You can tell me all about how you came across it and what the particulars are later. But for now, I think that instead of keeping Greenleaf on shore, cramming knowledge, as you're due to leave soon, or keeping him waiting in the wings until our research can be completed, I'll assign him here as your helmsman. Learning on the job will be much more effective. And Landrander is hardly going to see such a humble vessel as a major threat to their industry. Varys's jaw is dropped. Ryger gives him a look and a nod. He says, I mean, if they'll have me. Looks at the three of you.
Helmsman.
And there's a bit of a
the
smirk
end.
on their face, yeah, I'm sure Varys could learn a thing or two from me. Just in their expression, though. They're not saying anything.
I think Willow's covering their face because clearly they're laughing. It's just funny how this happens.
Ryger claps you on the back. What say you, Captain?
Was that to me?
Yes.
Sorry, let me have it. Willow, we'll kind of, when you dust off your shoulder a little with Ryger clapping them on the back, it's like the don't touch me. But we'll gesture to Varys. Mr. Greenleaf is always welcome on my boat if he'd like.
Well then. Seems like it might be settled. Harris says, it would be the smartest course of action with regards to me learning the ways of elemental vessels. I'm certainly not opposed to spending more time with these fine young folk.
Never mind, but I was just checking how Varys is. Does he mean it? Is he okay with this?
Yeah, he is. He's surprised.
Okay?
He's just taken aback. Plan suddenly changed, and this meeting with Ryger has gone better than he could have imagined.
for like a few minutes, when he's like, stop the boats, Varys was like, oh my god, I'm going to have to make them walk the plank. No, but this is good. You just got another job offer again.
Yeah.
And why Willow's laughing is because Varys actually offered to be this exactly.
Yeah.
Like months ago.
I remember.
Oh my gosh.
Something, the Wheel of Fate, something.
Something.
Ephemeral Chaos.
Second chances, something.
Something. I think Willow's going to kind of laugh now and stand up and offer their hand to Ryger and say, then it's a deal?
It's a deal. You keep Varys aboard and teach him everything you know, and I'll keep you a secret from Brightwind.
Okay, yeah. Willow will shake his hand.
He shakes his hand. A toast, then, to the crew of the Ephemeral Chaos.
We'll get the toast ready. I feel like Luca would scamper off to get the. Oh, I'm doing champagne today.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my job.
He clinks glasses. I'll be looking forward to hearing correspondence from you, Greenleaf. You'd best make ready. I hear you're sailing soon. Varys kind of gives a laugh and says, apparently. Thank you. Ryger sort of waves him off and claps him on the shoulder. I know where you're best put to use. And certainly not wasting away in the port. See if you can't make sure these three don't drown. Would be mighty disappointing to lose such grand potential so soon. And maybe once they've had a few years under their belt, they'll come back to Regalport looking for a little more steady work, shall we say.
Luca, like, I'm gonna be a doctor. What is he talking about?
That counts.
In the back of his head, like, what is happening?
Luca's the first time he's heard, like, who's Prince Brightwind?
Yeah, what's a Brightwind?
Honestly, feel free to ask any dumbass questions you have. You've been patiently standing aside.
I won't ask now. I don't
Yeah,
want.
no, thank you.
I don't want Ryger to know that I don't know things.
So true. We're on
Just
this
smile and
opposite ends of
nod.
the spectrum.
Yeah.
I want him to know I know things. Luca's like, I don't want him to know I don't know things.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to know I know things.
I don't want him to know.
Yeah.
Full stop.
And Varys is just, I.
Yeah.
The spectrum.
Alright.
Truly.
Oh, man, as soon as...
And if you want a guarantee, Ryger is more than willing to put it down in writing and stamp it with his signet ring.
Oh.
Mr. High Prince, of course I'd get it in writing. I don't trust you.
Yeah, and it's also like, yeah, let's get this in writing. Trust me, it has like a million thoughts right now in the back of their head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I trust that Ryger isn't the sort. Like, if there is anything written where it's like, and I will keep your secret, and specifically, Willow's going to make sure it's nothing like hag logic, like, oh, I'll keep it a secret from Coulton Brightwind. But Emma Brightwind's going to know what you are. So, like, he has no reason to. Look, I'm kind of trusting the vibes of, like, why would he compromise me when I have his, one of his best assets on board? He wouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's
you will have now become an asset to him. Even if you are not working directly for him, you are working with someone who is working directly for him.
So I'm an ally now, kind of.
You
We
sure are.
allies of the High Prince.
Is he,
I think it's
an ally?
Yeah. Sorry. The one case where the A stands for ally.
Well, he's also ace, so you know.
It's also an ace and allies.
So it
Right,
really
like,
just covers all the bases.
Yeah. I think as soon as, like, I imagine like a kind of bubbling eagerness between, like, when Willow stands next to Varys, that's probably just going to turn into a hug, even if Ryger's in the room. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless he doesn't want to, in which case I'll wait till Ryger looks away, and then it's going to be like, squeeze!
Yeah. I think Ed will also go in
for
for
sure a
handshake.
very pleasant surprise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shakes all your hands, writes it down, signs it in sealing wax. It's all good. A deal is done struck. And Ryger suggests you make port a little ways off before Regal Port. He'll make his own way home. After all, what's the point of being the High Prince if he can't take a leisurely evening stroll through his own back garden? He has much to consider about the future ahead. Certainly will make an interesting wrinkle to his plans for the convocation.
Huh?
But he's enjoying it.
Huh.
I love
Hey,
when
question.
you make things wrinkly.
Mm-hmm.
I like wrinkles. Is there any time for any more little conversations on the way after our, like, contract is signed? We probably cracked open another bevy.
You could try.
Okay. There's just a few more things, and I know that, like, in case Luca wants to say something to him or anything. I think after, like, the hug with Varys and, like, shaking Ryger's hand again, Willow's going to sort of random questions now. One of them will come up. Hi, Prince. One of your parts of your big old speech the other day. I'm curious, how much do you think, if it exists, Lazar's sword is actually worth? Or any of her treasures,
Oh, it'd
really?
be a priceless relic.
Valued at... What would a pirate pay?
Probably a good few ships. Finest in the line. At the very least. Who knows how high the bids could go. One would be a fool to sell it for anything less than a galleon. What was that
cast
for?
spells in front of him?
No, I'm trying to tinker in front of him. I think he'll see Willow doing a very kind of obvious, like, fiddle with their earring, and he'll probably catch on. Because I rolled a 5.
Him.
Yeah.
I was trying to record his voice, yeah. I'm also trying to listen.
Something in your ear?
No. Willow knows they're busted and then just, like, continues, looks around. Luca, do you have any questions for the High Prince?
Where's the High Prince?
Roger, then. Jolly Mr. Roger over here.
Good shrugs. continues whatever he's doing.
Very discreet, that man of yours.
Hmm.
I don't think you need to be discreet when you're among good company.
How much did he tell you, out of curiosity?
Looks back like, oh no, I'm in trouble. Looks at Ryger like, you better not get me in trouble.
Ryger says he merely invited me to the renaming of a ship of a good friend of his.
You come to every renaming ceremony that you're invited to by a stranger?
Oh, he's hardly a stranger. He's the man who saved my former first mate from a hag's curse, after all. And I owed him a favor.
Oh, so he cashed in his favor so you'd attend the party.
Depends if he can persuade me to give him another one.
We're in collaboration now. I think favors should be dealt out freely.
Mm-hmm.
How trade
So
works,
what favor are you going to do for me?
Is this not favor enough, leading you right to certain someone's boat?
Ah. I see you're the new negotiator of the bunch.
And gives a shrug. We're swirling a drink. Heard I talked good. Deliberately talking bad.
Mm-hmm.
Have a hard time with English.
Anyway, so unless you have any other questions.
Well, I do have a bit of a private question, in case it wasn't obvious.
Well, do you want to try and ask it as he's leaving?
You want to walk with him and then elk back?
Are you going back to Regalport? Salvage?
I'll probably drop Varys off at the docks, unless he wants to walk with Ryger, in which case Luca talk to him while he's doing the sails or whatever, while he gets the last bit of sailor out of his system.
I just nod my head like, come here for a minute, guy.
Oh my god.
I think En at some point is gonna break off, maybe even with Willow, to like hassle Varys. Like, hey, you're stuck with us now. Ruffles your hair.
I do imagine. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say that we stored up the hug. Willow was storing up the hug until Ryger went off the boat with Luca, and then it's just like a big freaking squeeze of Varys.
Critical hug.
Yeah, En's also there just hassling him.
Jostle, jostle, jostle.
Yeah.
Varys laughing. He's in, like, disbelief. Gives you both noogies.
Yeah.
Can't believe we're stuck with you.
I can't believe it either. Who'd have thought?
He'd have thought. Evidently.
He does think of everything.
Not everything, huh? Willow's going to elbow N now.
Yeah. Did a pretty good job making the elemental behave, huh?
That was... You need to brush up on that, Varys.
Oh, plenty of time for that now.
I suppose so.
I'll give you a few pointers. How it likes being talked to.
So, Luca, as you are seeing Ryger off to shore.
Mm-hmm. Are you in company of any assassins today? Or are you protection enough?
I'm sure they'd be very disappointed if I pointed them out to you.
It's like knowing the air is there. Kind of.
Something like that. Thanks for the invitation, by the way.
I hope you had fun. Hope you had fun. Disregarding the business?
The business was the fun for me.
Of course it was. Were you close with Captain Varys?
He was my first mate for a few years, till I promoted him and gave him his own ship.
What does that mean for someone like you?
It's a very high honor.
I had attendants when I was a captain. That doesn't necessarily mean they were my friends.
Well, he was my first mate, and he is still my friend.
What was it like to lose him?
Make a persuasion check.
Turn that off. Oh, damn it.
Okay.
Ryger pauses for a moment. It is something that you have to contend with, especially as a captain. But I was more than glad to hear he had returned.
Just glad?
You fishing for something in particular?
A glimpse into my future?
I suppose it'll depend on the situation. I can only speak for myself on this matter. But it is nice to know that a friend isn't dead.
Did you hope he was? You found him languishing in some village, not knowing who he was or what he meant to you. Is that worse?
I think only Varys can be the judge of which is worse.
But then he has, what, 30 years of experience? I guess I'm fishing somewhere without a reel.
I'm not in the mood to give you false comforts.
I wouldn't expect them. I'd prefer to know if I'm about to go into a dragon's den, as it were. Or a sea dragon's den. Do you think it's a problem that I got onto your ship so easily? I could have been anyone.
But you weren't. And that's why you got onto the ship in the first place.
You trust your crew then?
With my life.
Thank you for coming. Smacks him on the shoulder. And for going easy on me in that arm wrestle.
God win them all. Besides, it's not a leader's job to be the strongest or the smartest.
Oh, I meant going easy on me because you didn't break my arm.
He claps you on the back. I'm sure we'll see each other again someday, Luca Kindson.
I look forward to it. Roger.
He grins and walks off.
Luca watches him for a minute, summons his elk. Unless the others are waiting, then he'll walk back.
No, I'm sure you're, able to... This is you've just pulled up next to a beach, basically.
Yeah.
You're not even in Regalport proper.
Willow, I think, because I imagine Ryger did a big laugh. Was he still on the boat? You guys still chatting on the boat?
No. This was, wading towards the beach.
Huh? Oh. Wait. You guys were
This
in
was
the boat?
off the ship. Yeah, this was off the ship.
Oh. Okay. Well, then we're just watching you from a distance then.
I feel like you might have heard him laugh a little bit.
Oh,
yeah, no,
for
I
sure.
heard the laugh on the breeze. Gave N the side look. I was like, oh, here we go. They're having conversations again.
Yeah. and can tell when someone's being dodgy about their answers, even the High Prince. Yep, I'm sure they have quite the rapport.
I think Willow's going to say it's Varys, fascinating fellow, that captain of yours.
You're telling me. He seems to have only gotten wilier in his old age.
Maybe he's losing it.
I think he's found it more than ever.
You'll have to tell us all about him.
I'm sure we'll have plenty of time for that. Considering that we'll now be sailing all the way to Karnath together.
Did someone say Karnath? Luca stands on the boat, climbs onto the boat. I don't know how he got back onto the boat.
Yeah.
I will help you up with a hand if I can. Probably not.
And hey,
I'll try.
you get sick of us, plenty of ports. On the way there, you can just take a ship back.
I imagine he's going to drop us off and steal the Ephemeral Chaos. That's the
Of course,
plan,
that would be
right?
the smartest thing to do, yes.
Mm.
I feel it's more
Sail it
likely
back.
that you'll get tired of me being an uncle to you all.
Oh, we managed last time. You were pretty happy to try and gust us off of our own ship, so I don't feel like it'll be that much of a killjoy.
Now I'm going to give Varys a hug.
He laughs and pats you back.
Not a bad birthday, I'd say.
Yeah, how's that for a birthday gift?
What, your company?
Guess so. It wasn't
Yeah,
my
humble.
gift to give.
Does it count as mine since I brought the prince?
I think Ryger was the gift you gave, and Varys was the gift that he gave. And N, you gave me a book.
And drugs. That was for the ceremony.
And
That was a boat gift, not a Willow gift, if I'm understanding correctly.
it's the same thing. Willow gives you both a look like, oh no.
It's not gonna bring it up with Virus here.
Hmm.
Oh.
We're dropping him off.
Hmm.
Too bad if you wanted to say.
Speaking of, I do have one more thing to give you. And pulls out a little case from his pocket and hands it to Willow. Didn't have time to wrap it, but I'm sure you'll appreciate it nonetheless.
What is it?
You open it up.
Yeah.
It's a little leather case for a little spyglass of your own.
Oh. Cute. What's it look? It's probably nice.
It's
It's
a
not-
decent quality. It's not the fanciest thing in the world, but it is nicely polished brass. The lenses are clear. You're able to see through it clearly. Look at the stars. Look at the horizons.
I'm gonna try and find Ryger as he's walked off. Like I'm just trying to spot him.
Sure. Make a perception check with advantage. He's just sauntering along the beach.
Of course he is. It's like, this is
I want
my
to see him
beach.
stack it so bad.
Walks over a rock.
Does he walk over the rock? Yeah. Or does he go around it?
Oh no, absolutely not. He is meandering like it's an old man, just like moseying about his business.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I expected.
Is he doing the hands behind his back thing?
Oh, they're like deep in his pockets, and he's whistling to himself
Whistling? God.
At night.
Yeah, that's the
You
whiteness
weirdo.
coming in. You'll need to teach him, Willow.
Put it in the notes when Varys takes back some whistling at night. You're gonna track with demons.
Let them come.
It's my beach, bitch. Okay, cool.
Ryger
Cool.
is the demons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're the demons, actually.
a little bit.
Willow will give Varys another hug for the spyglass.
Yeah.
I have to give this to my helmsman. Puts it back in Varys' hand.
Oh, you stop that.
What does a helmsman do?
Steers
Wear
the ship.
helmets.
Is that not the captain?
Not necessarily.
What's a helm?
Plenty to teach you. Willow, will kind of lead you guys back in. Luca can ask all these little questions about the boat as we
Yeah.
sail Varys back.
Yeah.
I'm buzzing. Of course,
Yeah.
in the distance, it's like, we have to meet with Myrildine. I have to explain that to Varys. But, like...
Oh, by the way.
We'll deal with that later.
By the way, we're visiting your old boat, and she's a traitor.
Yeah, how are you going to broach that
No,
conversation?
you've already suggested it, so like he's already aware you had suspicions. So. We'll worry about that later.
Don't worry
that's a
about that
tomorrow
later.
problem.
You drop Varys off.
birthday.
You dock at Regalport. You are able to wind down for the night. Finally.
Yeah. So
I imagine Luca and Anna have a couple things to
yeah,
Count
do.
on you.
got a couple things. No, now that we're alone, Anne's going to pull the little puzzle box out from somewhere and present it to Willow, along with a sheet of paper that's got some writing on it. Happy birthday, Willow.
You already gave...
Too late.
Willow. Okay. Yep. Willow will look at the puzzle. Was it, did you say? The box?
The puzzle box and a sheet of paper. It's got writing on it, but it's got something on the other side as well. So,
I'll read the sheet. I think we're back in my boat.
yeah.
You are.
The
You
sheet
docked at
Having
Regalport.
muffins.
The sheet is a bunch of signatures and little notes from the dock workers, Bruno, Eleanor, people from around the salvage dry docks. In
Lots of
appreciation.
well wishes.
Yeah.
Lots of signatures.
What's on the flip side of it?
A sketch of the salvage dry docks from N.
Willow reads all the little things and their heart's like building, and then seeing the sketch, it's like pew, through the heart. I think Willow just kind of like gets immediately compromised. Goes over to slide it into the book
Yeah.
and tuck it very lovingly in the shelf that I believe is below their bed, or where their bed would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine a book that expensive has like little folds on the covers, interior covers that you can like tuck notes
Yeah.
and papers. So I can imagine it going in there.
Yeah. Know this, and Willow like lays it flat and then like lovingly lays it flat again with their hands, but without touching it too much because they don't want to damage it, because that's how much they love it. It's that kind of like, you got the nerd paper handling thing happening over with Willow. They look at it once more before closing it, but not like I don't want to be looking at it. It's like, oh, if I look at it anymore, it's gonna just so cute. I'll look at it next time I open the book, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Place it under the bed, all while being very cool. And when they come back, visually looking like not compromised, they are going to try and do the puzzle box.
Yeah, give it a shot.
How do I do the puzzle box?
I believe that would be an investigation check.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah. It's a nice little challenge.
But you get it open,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, inside is a collection of little rubies. You'd estimate maybe enough for a particular spell. A set of earrings that Sarah can feel free to describe.
they're a set of little studs, and they're in the shapes of little triangles. One is like a solid triangle, and the other is the outline. So they're like asymmetric, but still delicate and pretty. And they've got a like texture from the metalworking, you can tell.
And there's a bunch of little notes too that are recipes from Elsa for like potions, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Healing potion, antitoxin. I think maybe one other common one. Or, well, uncommon potion.
All nestled in a little bed of rubies, so it's just a little treasure box.
It's so pretty. I think Willow doesn't say anything, but you can see, again, little sheen over their eyes.
Glasses.
Yeah, glasses. They're excited. They're excited to see the rubies. They're, like, heart-warmed to see the potion bits, and they're interested in the earrings. I think they're gonna try one on now.
Mm-hmm.
Very handsome.
Check it on their ear. If you may say so yourself. Thinking of
there's-
Ruby and like what to do.
There's another for you in your pockets. Points at Willow like, do you remember?
Oh. Wow, time flies, huh?
Expected to be gone by now.
Soon. Yeah, Willow's going to
You have to go downstairs and actually retrieve the package.
I will. Yeah, they were lovingly placed down. Actually, no, I'm taking the rubies with me so I can put them in my like components shelf, I think, which is behind my workshop. And then the potions I can file away too while I kind of look for where I put that aside. Probably in the same place behind the shelves. You guys can come down too.
Yeah.
You guys should follow me down. Left the door, like looking fondly back at my elemental, like remember when I kicked the door open to shock High Prince Ryger?
And the elemental's like, what's a door?
It was like I'll tell N later. Anyway, okay. I can open now the box from Luca.
Inside is a pair of like tissue wrapped fine Siren gloves.
They're like
Dress
evening
gloves.
wear.
Yeah.
Oh. Ooh. Willow looks.
So you don't have to wear your work gloves when you go to nice places.
Willow looks fond of them. Fond of them and a little like nostalgic, I think. It's very much like a reminder of where they're going, not just to Karnath, to events where we might need little fancy wear, but also beyond.
Somewhere maybe you want to look your best.
I think Willow won't put those on yet, but they'll close it in a way that you know that they are keeping it safe. They're keeping it like saving it for an occasion. And then look at you both. I don't know if I've said it enough today. Thank you.
No problem. There's a little smirk on their face.
Happy birthday to Willow. Toast.
We don't have drinks.
Absolutely. I would have, the little pink wine that I got? That was for Willow's birthday.
Okay. Pour it while I'm ogling the gloves. Okay, we have a toast then.
Yeah.
But I do think Willow's gonna butt scoot over their workshop, like rather than walking through the thing, and then like pull you guys into a group hug again.
Aw.
They're very grateful. I think while they're hugging, and after the little sip, the toast, Willow will ask, "You guys like the name?"
Oh, I love it.
It sounds familiar.
Oh. What was N saying?
Ed says, "Oh, I love it."
I thought you'd like it. Do you even remember it? Sorry, no offense.
Yeah, I do. I like it.
Okay.
It's
Good.
very fitting for you, I think.
Love the idea.
I think it's very...
Love the idea of someone shouting that name and then this little boat just zipping through the water. And we will be zipping. Me and the elemental, we got a thing going on. We'll be shooting through the water like a predator. Or, whatever we have to be in any given circumstance. I'm adaptable. We're adaptable, like water, right? Right, buddy? Calls into the elemental's room.
Its name is Water Sun, because it's the son of water, like I am the son of Karnath.
It's undecided. That's the next name on our list, now that we have the boat all sorted out.
Temporary name.
Is Brightwind a boat?
That conversation might be for another night, Luca. Just let it rest. We're having a good evening.
It's fine. He's a guy. Willow's going to continue upstairs for more like muffins and cupcakes and stuff.
Why are we in a relationship with the High Prince? I thought you didn't do that.
I'm not in a relationship with the High Prince. What are you talking about?
We're in a business
like
agreement.
a working relationship.
It's valuable to us as much as it is to him.
Did he give you that special wood?
No.
Shut
All right, Luca, I think it's about time you walk the plank. Come on, buddy.
Why?
Yeah, we gotta break in the ship by having our first plank walking. Come on.
Look at Willow didn't even know what you were talking about, and then it clicks as you're walking away. Oh, the sawwood. No, I stole that fair and square.
Yeah, Willow stole that.
What?
Yep, you're in a boat made of stolen wood. Now get off it.
That's
I think this is the first time that N is also finding out about
No, Willow
this.
told them earlier.
Oh, right.
Yep, so N knows this. And has already integrated this knowledge.
Fair enough.
That's like half the reason I invited him.
Oh, for sawwood, please. Pins.
I just thought it... Squinting at Willow.
Willow tilts her head back at you like, what?
I think you should take a swim.
We're not having a mutiny on their birthday, Luca. You're the one who has to get off.
I think it's the best thing to do for a birthday. I'm like gonna stalk over to Willow now.
Oh my gosh, no.
8th of Larvion.
Yeah, so...
What are your plans?
N has to go and check their mail.
Ah, yes.
Yep. So, unless anyone's gonna stop them from going to Regalport to check their P.O. box for one of the last times.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna go...
We're already here.
Yeah, they're gonna go do that.
So, you go check your mail, and you have the note from Risha addressed to you directly.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Sending telegram forwarded to your P.O. box.
Yep.
It says, heard from our employer I'm to pass info along to you. Establishment at address is a Talented-themed fine dining restaurant. There's a couple more details there, but we'll leave those to reported speech. Not what you were expecting.
No.
No mention of the name that you were expecting either.
And there were other details, but I'll get those later.
Yeah, it's basically like the name of the owner and what the establishment is called, but it's just like a Talented-themed fine dining establishment.
Well, that's curious. And probably started reading this like in their usual back alley where I read letters that they've established at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think actually their hand starts to shake, they squeeze their eyes shut, and they turn into Kai.
Oh.
And he will pocket the note and take a walk.
I think one of the details is that the restaurant has been there for maybe 2-3 years.
That's very interesting. Very interesting.
So, we continue on. Any other important scenes on the 8th? Or any details?
I think Willow's gonna go head towards the Syrian marketplace. They want to get some they're thinking of food to take to the Silver Dancer.
Okay.
I think on the way there, Willow's going to this has a different kind of weight on it now that we're thinking of impending trip with Varys, but that's not the point. Not a bad weight. A buzz about it. Willow's going to flick open the sending stone. Say, good morning. Hope the Devourer is staying at bay. Need anything from Regalport? Last call.
You receive a response from Meraldine. Just your fine presence and that map you promised, darling. But if you're feeling generous, I won't say no to some nougat.
Sweetheart.
Just so... That's so cute. Not cute in a way, cute in a you're such a shit. Anyway, yeah. Who wants to take bets that it's Tarek's favorite? Everyone? Anyway. Willow was about to call her repetitive because that's more or less what she said before, but that's also more or less what I asked before, so not what I wasn't expecting. But anyway, yes. Willow's amused. They will go and fetch some goods, and yeah, they'll get her some nougat. How much we're going to spend?
We can determine that off screen. Just make a note down of.
Yeah, it's going to be less than 45 gold. I'm not.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think it's going to take that much.
Nah, I'm special.
I'm getting snacks, non-perishables, all that kind of stuff, and whatever supplies I might need to. Yeah. For any last-minute little things, I have something for Eleanor I'd like her to do. I might have already brought that up with her.
Yeah,
back in
I'm
Salvage.
sure you brought it up at during the party of hey, want to do this little project together? That sort of thing.
Yeah. And now all the rest of my supplies are covered by salvage, so now I can just kind of enjoy Regalport a bit. I think Will's going to kind of amble before meeting back up with N at their boat, if N's coming back to the boat.
Yep, and we'll come back to the boat.
N or Kai?
N.
Okay.
We can sail back together.
Yeah. Imagine you're...
Yeah. No, I was just asking if N was doing anything else here today.
Nope. Everything else they're planning to do is going to be a tomorrow thing here in Regalport.
Okay.
Oh, little small pile, a small stash of things to do.
Hey, sorry, I rolled a 20 and that 20 insight check on you.
And seems distracted, and you probably catch them while we're sailing back, because I assume we're kind of sailing back when you make this insight. They've got their hands folded on the railing of the scrap bucket, and their leg is bouncing, and they're staring off onto the horizon. They just seem distracted.
Okay. I'm steering, but at least I've taken note something has happened. Anything else from the nat of it all? Nah, I guess just seeing without asking.
Yeah.
Hey, Fish Dog's operational. I'll send Fish Dog over to you.
Distracted and tense, I'd say. It's not
tense.
It's not like a distant, sleepy kind of gaze. It's like very sharp thought. Bouncing leg is pretty evident of that.
Do I know you received mail?
And didn't say anything. I guess they wouldn't have told you this specifically that they got that letter, but they would say, I'm going to check my mail as an excuse for why.
So I can put stuff together.
Yeah, so you can piece together that they might have gotten a less than desirable letter.
Okay, we'll see how it ages. But Willow will send Fish Dog around to you, either way. Doing laps around the boat.
And might catch it and then like start throwing it out to sea and having it come back and then tossing it out to sea. Like,
play fetch with yourself.
Essentially, it's like throwing a ball against the wall, but you're throwing a fish dog against the sea.
Exactly. Which is exactly what you did with it the first time I handed it to you. Yay!
Yeah.
Or what I asked you to do with it when Luca said, "Go long." Good.
Cool. I imagine Luca and Elsa are spending a lot of time working together. Elsa making doubly sure that you all have like suitable cold weather clothing because while it might be summer now, the seasons change and winter is quite harsh.
Yeah, I think and probably asked her much earlier on, but like, hey, I know you had a ton of hand-me-down clothes. Could I actually have a few more articles from that, considering where we're going? Basically.
Oh yeah,
I know
absolutely.
my birthday has
and there's
long
like
passed,
a lot of like pulling out old things, making sure they're mended properly and washed. Putting together supplies for like laundry and stuff like that. I imagine also Elsa and Luca are looking at like what potential shrubs you could plant in that pot of awakening.
Yeah.
Things like that. Just cute. I think Elsa is like commenting of like maybe some herbs, like a rosemary or something like that. That's quite hardy. That will grow quite quickly, and it's always good to have seasoning. But I suppose a fruit bush might also be a thing. Then again, that will only bloom seasonally, and I'm not so sure it'll do so well with the changes in temperature. Gosh, I don't know. I suppose you can ask the other two what they think.
Yeah, something useful. I think useful would be nice.
Willow, you are doing some tinkering with Eleanor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Willow would... I kind of imagine, like, Willow pulls up, and then there's the brief conversation with Bruno where we're just like, yeah, but then, like, we both get caught up in work. Willow's probably, like, as opposed to talking about the tattoo thing, Willow's probably going to end up, like, mentioning to him, like, are you free in 2 days or something? Like, can you get it done in that time? While we're kind of, like, getting caught up in this well of just, like, doing stuff. Is he available?
Yes,
2 days
he
is
is.
10th, yeah?
Yes.
The day before we go. That work?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then Willow's going to scamper off and probably go and ask Eleanor if she can help me with something.
Yes.
Because it will make it go quicker. I would like to make I'm going to pull out the Zorn eyeball and show to her,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and ask to make an orb of direction.
Yeah, okay, yes. Eleanor will give you advantage on this
Nice.
tinkering check.
Tinker's tools? Do I do that now?
Please. Yes, please.
Oops,
With
I didn't
advantage.
hit advantage.
Yeah, you can roll
Probably
again.
need it, but we'll give it a go.
Damn.
That's what I thought. Yeah. This is a relatively common item, and Eleanor and the dry dogs certainly have everything on hand to need it. It is interesting to make it with the Zorn eyeball because it has this elemental earth connection. It's very sort of interesting to work with, but it takes to the enchantment quite well. So probably Eleanor will just make the finishing touches the next day, and it should be ready by the 10th.
Awesome. Willow's very happy to be working with her. Shakes her hand and everything.
Yeah.
Also, I expelled a spell slot. I think you mentioned once that
Yes.
I'd have to
Yes.
expel that. Okay.
Yes.
Whatever.
So that takes your that's your sort of work for the day, for most of the day.
How exciting. I love the idea of it like looking in the direction of...
Yeah.
How does it work, sorry?
It's a compass.
It's a
Points
compass?
north.
Yeah, so the
So
eye
it
is
will
always facing
always
north?
look. Yeah.
Awesome. That's so fun. We both have that moment of like turning it on the spot and just going, ooh.
Yeah.
I imagine it eventually would look like a eyeball, like kind of mounted in a gold polished disc
Yes.
with a little arrow engraved on it, and she will help with keeping it like making it more refined, putting it all together.
Yes.
Nice.
It is a.
Thank
It's
you,
a
Elena.
3-dimensional compass is what you have made.
Mhm.
So if you were underwater or in the sky or who knows where, it would still point towards the north of the planet.
That's so handsome. Because it by the seas and skies. Ha ha ha. Ah!
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Anything else done on the 8th?
Nope.
No.
Cool. The 9th rolls around then.
Holy moly.
Yep.
Again, we are in montage mode, so just
Yeah, no, just
a lot of packing, a lot of making sure you have all your supplies in order, checking and double checking that you've got everything aligned. Varys is getting ready. I imagine you'd like meet up with him once or twice in Regalport, and then he's like, okay, well, I'll get ready myself and make sure I have everything together to meet you when we need to go.
And has some things to do in Regalport, so if Willow's going to meet Varys, then will come along and then break off to do their Regalport rounds today.
Mm-hmm.
I think Willow might actually suggest to... Yeah, never mind. I think, Willow's going to talk to Varys today.
Okay.
There is a knowledge between them of what tomorrow brings. Willow's
Mhm.
enjoying their time in Regalport while they can. Even if it
Yeah.
means tea at the Greenleaf residence or helping
Yeah.
Varys pack or, just enjoying their time around.
Yep.
Any last calls from Malachi, but...
Mm-hmm.
Secret also wants to come with me to Regalport. I can go shopping and get armor.
Yeah, you know what? She'll take a
Oh,
little
yeah.
day off and
Yeah. We can get
she'll
lunch.
take a half day and get lunch with you and chat, maybe hang out at the temple for a couple hours, see Torg and the others.
Yeah.
It's just like you go out for an afternoon with your mom.
Yeah.
Can she come on the boat
Basically.
with us?
Oh,
In the morning?
sure.
Yes.
Well, good. So, let's follow N as they do their rounds in
Yeah.
Regalport.
Well, first things first, I've got someone to see.
Mhm.
Judging by that
So
tone in your voice, I
excited.
just wonder who it is.
Dee, I wanted her. Yeah, I probably arranged a time and a place to meet up.
Yeah.
And Jaylee.
Yeah.
Where do you think Jaylee wants to meet
Hmm.
up?
I think Jaylee has offered to treat you to some pancakes at the stacks. She arrives a little bit late and flustered again, but she is holding a large box
Oh. And it's like, oh, she's so, what's that?
in her arms.
Looks at the box, looks back at her, and tries not to look in the box.
Hi! Sorry I'm a bit late.
Hey, no
Uh,
problem. No worries, I'm not leaving today.
Anyway, true, I guess, but still I wanted to get this to you.
Oh, that's for me?
Yes. I figured... Well... Here, she just hands you the box. It's a little bit delicate and a little bit heavy, but... I hope you like it.
I can open it now?
If you want to.
Oh, might as well. Gifter's right here.
I suppose so. Just maybe don't take it out of the box. It might be a little bit, impractical to carry if you take it out of the box. But anyway, go ahead.
I'll take your advice. Alright.
You open up the box and, somewhat haphazardly wrapped in tissue paper and, like, some, wadded up scraps so it doesn't move around is a teapot.
Yeah. I had a feeling. It's what? Describe it to me. What kind of teapot is it? What color? What are we dealing with
It's
here?
it's a little stoneware teapot that has sort of this two-tone glaze of like sort of deep teal and sort of whitish blue on top. The edges are a little bit they have that sort of cracked metal-ish gloss to them of reduction firing. It's kind of it's like a small cylindrical teapot, not perfectly round.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of looks like, because it is split into two tones, like a sea and a sky.
Oh.
And there are little gulls, little seabirds flying in the sky of the teapot.
Oh. And smiling to themselves as they kind of examine it very carefully. Not taking it fully out of the box, but turning it a bit so they can admire the details.
I'm not really good with drawing animals, but
It's
I
beautiful.
did remember that story you told me, so...
It's beautiful, Jaylee. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that little teapot and the little ceramic bird. Well, someone made that with their hands, sculpted it, painted it, like you have here, and then my parents went on to love it for years, and I guess I kind of did too. Even if I didn't really know how to handle it with care back then. I've learned since then, so you can rest assured this will be in good hands.
Well, I mean,
Anyway,
it's...
the point is, the things you make are going to be cherished by people for years to come. And I can guarantee that. Because I'm living proof now.
Yeah, well... Same to you. Jaylee is, like, fidgeting with the end of her braid, like, futzing with it in such a way that you're, like, almost worried she's gonna start pulling out hairs.
Yeah.
Because she's a little bit nervous, but, she sort of stares down at her plate as she says, well, I hope you know that I really, cherish what you did for me. Like, just everything. I mean, obviously the saving my life and getting me that interview and everything, but also just, you know, being my friend and spending time with me and stuff. I just really think you're an amazing person, and, yeah.
No, I think oh, maybe I haven't. I've made it pretty obvious that I think you're pretty amazing too, Jaylee.
Well then I guess we both think that each other is amazing. Are you hungry?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, let's order something. She, like, gets less nervous as you, like, settle into a meal and actually have something to do, and she's not just, like, awkwardly presenting you the entire gift.
Yeah.
That she had to make in
record
a
time.
few days.
Yeah.
Record time, yeah.
And keeping the box close.
Yeah. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if the first attempt, like, cracked and she starts yelling at it, like, I need to finish this Picasso! You have to work!
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, and we'll tell her over the course of them eating that, yeah, you said so many times that my life seems really exciting, and I can't really deny it is one wild ride after the other, regardless of what I say about it. But honestly, there's one thing that makes it so nice to hang out with you.
Yeah?
It's a breath of fresh air for all the craziness of my life. You know, it's like a good piece of art. It's the contrast that enhances it, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're friends, then.
Me too.
She gives you a smile.
You're sweet and wise and creative, and I think we both know the world is sometimes eager to stamp that out, so don't let them take that from you, ever.
She nods.
And gives a little smile and a gentle punch to Jaylee's arm.
She laughs. And I think as you're packing up and finishing for the day, Jaylee says, I'll see you off when you leave. When your ship sets sail. Right?
Yeah. And we'll give probably a date and a location, like what port they're probably going to be leaving.
Okay.
Keep an eye out for you. And points their one good eye.
Yeah. I guess it's not really goodbye just yet, but in case I don't make it quite in time, I keep having timing troubles. Anyway, she just sort of does a little sort of nervous false start and then goes in for a big hug.
Oh.
And squishes her cheek up against yours.
Aw. Yeah, and I'll wrap her up in a hug too. Like, it's again, and does these a lot, the tangled Flynn Rider hug at the end, of, like squeezing normal at first with the normal hug, and then their brow furrows and they squeeze tighter. Like, they don't say it, but it's very much just like a stay safe, please stay safe kind of hug.
Yeah. Jaylee is pouring her whole heart into this hug as well, so it's very tender, and she's like a little bit dewy-eyed when she finally pulls back.
Yeah, and's got
Travel
that
safe.
soft smile like they did when they first spoke to her. That just soft, genuine smile. I'll do my best.
And tell me about everything in your letters.
Oh, absolutely. You're gonna get a novel by the time I make sure.
Promise?
Promise. And's gonna hold up their pinky.
She links her pinky with yours and kind of laughs. It's a promise.
A promise.
Anybody else?
And there's one other thing they're gonna do later, but we can cordon that off to other people.
Said we're going to do shopping like off screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right then. So cute.
Yeah. So cute. Okay, I do think that Willow's probably just like, I said, puttering around the green leaves, but they're not going to stay too long because obviously this is their time with Varys, so they're here for as long as is useful. And I do think as they're kind of parting ways with Varys, it was quick. They're going to mention to him, I'll be at the docks bright and early. Are you planning to stay at Salvage the night before we head off?
Might be a good idea.
Just bringing it up in case you'd like a lift back.
Sure. I should probably familiarize myself with the Ephemeral Chaos a little bit more, since I'm supposed to be our helmsman.
Something like that. But I'll leave you to it. What we were telling him too is, I'll be here in the morning of the 10th.
Yeah. Yep. I think he shakes your hand and says, stay safe.
Willow looks at the hand like, what's this? And gives you a little like pat on the back and said, we're in hugging territory now, okay, man?
All right.
We didn't say that to him, but they give him a... They will go for the hug. That's how they say it.
Okay, cool.
Then they'll head off. And I do think that Willow is just going to do like one last loner lap of like all of the places in Regalport that they have been. I think even if it takes a while, they're going to go like through the Pirate Exchange, past Morradale's, past the Galleria, even past Tarek's house, the hospital, like all of the docks, obviously.
Yeah.
And just like really kind of soak it in.
I imagine we see the camera pan over Regalport, the Pirate Exchange, Malachi's Magical Miscellany.
Oh yeah.
The Belly of the Beast. Currently closed, but the next prize fight will be soon underway. You absorb sort of the... Sorry, you go first.
No, I feel like Willow sees like the group in all of the places that we've been. It's been in the past, Willow's kind of had like flashes of like so many things converging, but even so, in this instance, even if they are converging, regardless of when they've been in Regalport or who's been with them, whether it's like Damon, these guys, or even the crew before, these are kind of all melting into the same little walk around.
Yeah. You sort of absorb the atmosphere of Regalport, this gem of the principalities, the biggest city in the principalities, the jewel of the eastern seas, the port of call of the sea dragons. Your home, sort of. Your next door neighbor, at least. For the last 4 years. It's been good to you. For all its ups and downs. And in the future, you'll be able to pay that back in kind. You think as you walk past the Crown Bay dry docks, knowing that secretly a new industry is taking shape.
I think Willow will soak all that in while waiting when they vote for if these guys are coming back with me.
And I'll come back with you after they finish their errands.
I think we see a brief little scene of Seeker Elsa, Seeker Torg, and Luca down in the tomb conversing with Nereus.
Yeah.
All together. As your 3 older Seeker friends give you blessings for the journey ahead. Give you bits of advice. And bolster you in your decision to move forward. They are always here if you need advice. And they will support you in your oath and your journey forward. Seeker Elsa loves you like family. Nereus sees you as a treasured pupil, and Torg as a promising young peer. Nereus says, I wish you every fortune on the journey ahead, and I look forward to seeing your return when you know once more who you are and where you came from.
Luca seems to be much more resolved after this. It's easier knowing you have a lot of things to come back to, I guess.
Indeed. Whatever lies ahead or behind you, you know that you have this, at least.
It's holding Secret Elsa's hand, probably.
Yeah. She squeezes your hand. That's your shoulder. We know you'll do great things.
Luca doesn't know
We
what
have
to say.
every faith of you.
Yeah. Luca doesn't really know what to say. He's just feels honored and flattered and overwhelmed.
I suppose the only thing there is to say is thank you.
Yeah. Thank them each in turn, I think. Yeah, but Secret also knows that he's going to speak with her more privately again.
Yes.
Thanks them for trusting him and accompanying him thus far. And knowing that they will stand behind him as he moves forward.
They will be the wind at your back.
Yeah.
you were able to return to the Ephemeral Chaos and your crew.
Unless Willow has something, I can montage through the last thing En's gonna do before they return.
Is it in
Yes,
salvage?
please.
It's in
Was it in
Regalport.
Regalport? Oh, yeah, no. Willow's waiting on their boat for you guys. Oh, Willow's doing their laps. So whatever time's up, well.
So, En has been scouting this out for a while, so I don't really imagine any roles involved with this. En is something to buy. They've been looking for it on and off through their other shopping trips for Willow and other such things, like their snack stash. But today, specifically, they're looking for a pirate hat. Not something too big, something that you can put in a box easily. So not like big floofy feathers or whatnot that's gonna get crushed in shipping, but a nice pirate hat.
You find a suitable pirate hat.
Yep.
Something that will stand up to travel.
Yeah, and I like to think it comes with a hat box, which En will just use that for shipping purposes as well. En's gonna take that, and they're also going to stick in the box the deck of Lazar playing cards that they bought a while back. It's slightly used, but still in pretty good shape. The box and the cards within. Tuck that in there. And they're gonna take this over to the Regalport post office. And I imagine if Salvage has a typewriter, the Regalport post office also definitely has a typewriter that En can use. So I'm gonna request that. And they're going to use that to write a little note. And I'll read it out loud for the benefit of the audience. En writes, I frequented the Keen Whistle Casino during my time in Sharn. It became a welcome retreat after long days. Noticed its namesake had a thing for hats. Thought they might appreciate a genuine article from Lazar. Happy birthday, Kay. And they're going to tuck that in the box. And they're going to have the mail person's handwriting be the one to write the address that this is going to, which is the address of the Keen Whistle Casino. And they're going to allow the return address of their mailbox to be attached to this parcel. No name, but just that.
Okay, then.
They're going to hand that off and then go for a run, essentially.
You successfully hand that off. Everything is posted, stamped, and set aside for shipping to Sharn on the next.
And has a moment of watching it like go into the back room and like, no, I gotta jump over the table, tackle them, and take that away.
You successfully suppress the thought and head outside, calmly striding, and then as soon as you are out of the doors, you break into a full dead sprint.
I imagine En also stashed the teapot somewhere else before they did this because they knew they'd need to like have zoomies after.
Yeah.
So once that's done, they will fetch the teapot and return to Willow's boat.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, good.
Far out. You know what? I'll do one more little check on you just as you arrive because that's what I do. And I roll stupidly high again.
It was almost a nat 20.
Almost.
Ed's definitely like puffed. They've been running around Regalport, and I mean running around Regalport. And they're also carrying a sizable box.
Yep.
Luca, you notice as well. Would you like to talk?
What's in the box?
A gift. For me, not you.
Did you steal it?
Ah. From...
I don't know. Why don't you take a look at it and see if you can figure it out? I believe it's for our boat. And it's gonna take it inside.
Yeah. And is able to unpack the beautiful cylindrical teapot that has the dual tone of a dark sea and a dark sea and a light sky. Dark sea. I'm tired.
Dark sea, light sky. Dark sea, light sky. Yeah.
Yeah. With little M shapes of gulls flying in the sky.
Dude. Oh.
Ooh, that's going to need its own shelf.
Yeah, keep it safe. It's very fragile.
Hmm.
You could fix it if it's smashed, right? You have a magic thing for that?
Oh, wait. Zeke, does a mending work like that?
Yes.
Okay, Willow was like, well, yes, but we'd hate to see it smashed at all.
Mm.
It's so thoughtfully made, after all. Quite
Bespoke, even.
Lovingly made,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh, full of affection and admiration.
You guys aren't subtle.
Yes.
Neither
Not
are
trying to be.
you.
Well, can you figure
else
out
is
who
here?
made it?
No, I have no idea. Willow's going to walk off and
It's
start
so
staring.
difficult to figure out. Siko, look how
Oh.
pretty.
I guess it'll have to be a mystery forever. We'll never talk about it again.
Did she sign the bottom? That's what they do, right? Luca turns it over.
There's a JH stamped into it. Maker's mark.
Yeah. So when she gets famous, this will be worth a lot of money.
Too bad for them. I'm keeping it.
Too bad for you. I'm becoming a criminal.
What, you're gonna steal it? That's the first thing you're going to steal? The lovingly made gift made just for me?
No. I'll find something else. for
Yeah,
my
at least
first
steal
time.
for someone who has more money to get out of them than I do.
I've been stealing hearts since I was a young lad, so really, it's not my first time.
I see some of your memories have come back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to help? Willow says while they're probably sorting out the sails and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
Hello?
just bantering at the dinner table.
Yeah.
I'm admiring this.
Admire the sails. Secret Elsa is waiting.
You are able to set off.
There's a little pause from Willow when they look at Secret Elsa. A little something. They adjust their glasses, thinking.
Do we see it?
Hmm.
Do we see it? Do we see it?
Can
we
I
feel
think
it?
you guys are bantering.
Do we feel
Just
it,
because
Mr.
it's
Krabs?
not helpful. Just because it's not helpful for you to see it, I'm gonna say no. It's when you're out of the boat.
How dare you?
There's nothing to see.
I'm the judge of that. Anyway.
On the way back, or when we arrive, when you guys start stepping off, Willow is probably going to mention to you guys, I have intention to sail back to Regalport tonight, but I'd like to do so alone.
I doubt I need to, remind what night it is. I assume that's what this is all about, actually.
You were eavesdropping, weren't you?
I was listening.
Luca wasn't. So.
Okay, wait, because I see Luca, and I know that last time I left you at the loop, you contacted the High Prince. Willow's going to say, my former crew is arriving. By dawn. Well, in the morning, when everyone can see them, naturally.
Are you going to see them?
Going to be a distant observer.
There's reasons for that. And pauses. They were going to say more, but then they look at Willow like they were going to fill Luca in, but they said they don't feel like that's their place.
Reasons. I'm assuming Anne was about to talk about, like, because they don't like me.
Anne was going to say Anne was going to say there are reasons Willow's not part of their crew anymore.
Right.
But they stopped themselves from
I
saying
think
that too much.
Willow will say to Luca, I'll let you know more of the story before we set off, because it will be relevant to our sea travel. I'm not in their good books.
Everything you need. Then.
Is there a time I should expect you back before I get worried that the chaos sank?
I asked Varys to meet me sometime in the morning, and I'll come back when able. If I'm not back by nightfall, then certainly begin to be worried, I suppose, or at least message me. But otherwise, I plan to keep a safe distance.
And nods.
And besides, the distance between the seas and skies, pretty
Which is a
significant.
lot, yeah.
Absolutely noted, Luca.
He looks up like, yeah, that's a lot.
Willow nods.
Are they not coming in
Thank
by boat?
Maybe you could fill him in, Willow says,
Yeah.
clapping in on the shoulder.
And like, the Wind Whisperers are particularly known for having airships, Luca. That's the seas and skies.
Right.
Don't worry, you will see it when we attend the convocation. Willow squints like,
Yeah, that's
if that's still a plan.
that's
Considering.
it seems pretty complicated, but we'll figure that out when we get there. We do have an appointment with someone else, so we can't chicken out now.
Is that not a bit disrespectful if everyone's going to be showing up in a boat to show up in a sky boat?
No.
No?
Or yes, and that's the point, but I'll take the pirate's word for it.
Willow gives a little eyebrow raise of like, well, it's a bit of both, but like, it's not the point, you know? It's a flex, but like, Ryger's confident enough for it to be a flex that isn't disrespectful, you know? So it's not like I guess if you want it to be disrespectful, it is. It's kind of, it's both. And I think Willow gives like a little bit of a smirk about it.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it is a bit rude, but like, not in a way that I don't like.
And we'll wave you off. Pick will go along and answer any questions within reason without breaching Willow's section of the story.
No, I don't think Luca will ask that many questions, you know?
Oh, do I have reason to be over here anyway? What am I doing? I'm hanging around salvage, hanging with Bruno. I think I'm just helping him with work.
I mean, you do have something to deliver, so.
I want to do that today.
No.
Do that closer to when we leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking of asking Seeker Elsa something, but I'm mainly watching the clock. Depends on Seeker's time.
You know.
She has. Actually, let's do that later.
Okay.
I think for now, we will move forward time again. Flash forward to the morning of the 10th of Larvion, with Willow sitting on the Ephemeral Chaos alone, looking towards the skies, as they see a distant speck on the horizon of the Storm Chaser.